Hello. How are you doing, Barbara?
Good.
Just noticing that I'm actually really cold.
Um,
Uh, Grab a little blanket hang in here somewhere. Yep, there we go. I'm gonna cover up a little bit.
are
Um,
we the only two on?
what's that?
Are we the only two on?
Nope, everyone's popping in as we speak. It all
Okay.
takes a few seconds. We
Um,
the only
I'm
two.
gonna have to leave early today,
Okay,
but
thanks for
I'll
letting me
stay for
know.
a while.
All right. Molly. Hi, Mary Ellen.
There's something that I'm hoping you're going to cover at some point,
Yeah.
which is how to make a uh, group folder for outside people to add their photos in.
Okay. Yep, that's the shared folders, and maybe we'll cover that. Yep.
Okay, great.
Mhm. All
Got
right.
cleaners
Hi,
here, so
Mary
I'm gonna mute.
Ellen. Hi, Molly. Hi, Harry.
Hi.
So, who, what, can you remind me how to spell your name again? And I'll change this. Is it he?
Anna, Uni Anna. Anna, I will change, okay?
You'll change it. Okay, great.
Yeah.
And speaking of names, Diana,
Yeah.
my last name is Urbanus with the
Oh,
accent on the front,
Urbanus instead of
or Urbanus, but
Urbanus.
Urbanus is
Urbanus.
fine.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Diana,
Funny how it all depends. Yes, Molly?
you hear so much about AI, and there's so much going on. Will you be teaching a class, or how could we find out more about it? It sounds exciting and fascinating.
It's exciting, it's fascinating, it's scary, it's good and bad, it's awesome. It's like, the whole point is that even in the Photos app, there's AI going on right now. But yeah, it's I'm torn. I was going to propose an AI class, but I'm just worried. Here's what I'm worried about. It's leaps and changes every minute, every hour. And how do you even know enough to teach? And I understand that there's this need to understand the basics, which is probably what a class would be, but it would take so much to even keep up with that class already. Every app I teach Photoshop, Illustrator design. There are so many AI additions to that I am learning as I go in order to teach. That I don't know that I could teach an AI class and have it be at the level, like it would have to be like an introduction to AI. It wouldn't
Oh, definitely.
like, wow.
Oh,
But
yeah,
yeah, understand how to use how to use it. It is, I'm tempted. I'm tempted. I know that it would probably fill up, but I'm not sure how to handle it because even when you describe a class to teach it, you have to write it in such a way that it will last for many years. And anything you write in AI would just have to be something like a generic thing like, whatever's happening to AI, I will teach it, because how do you even
it's
write? I mean,
yeah,
that GPT that everyone heard about at the beginning isn't even like the big thing anymore. It's like, I don't know. It's crazy.
yeah.
So I would
Even
be hard pressed. I think I could teach it as a general
yeah,
information type of thing,
I'd like that.
but I wouldn't imagine people who want to learn to be able to really understand and control it.
No, no,
It,
just
it, it would be a big
mhm.
plus. I don't even know. I mean, yeah, I don't know. It might need to be coming from someone who's I could teach it from the point of view of the user, which is what you're saying, and I think it
Yes,
works.
just
But from the point of view of the technology and stuff going on, it would have to be like a computer, like a developer, a systems developer.
yeah, sure.
That would be for people who want to then harness that and create. So yeah, I need to figure it out. I've been thinking about it. So thanks, Molly, for
Yeah,
bringing it up again.
yeah. And also, when you go on a Facebook, you see pictures, and all of a sudden it comes to life. There's a whole history behind it. How
Yeah,
do they do it? It's so gorgeous.
it's an app. It's an app that does that. Yeah, it's pretty
Yes,
amazing.
yeah. And you learn so much from it too,
Mm,
because it gives you a little story as well
yeah.
as seeing the whole scene.
Bob, do you know how to put in your last name there, or can you do it? Or should I do it for you? Anyway, yeah, and a lot of the features that I'm going to be teaching you when we edit these photos, you'll see here in the Photos app are powered by AI. Even all of the people recognition, that's all it's all powered by AI, but
Mhm.
anyway, it's pretty crazy. So hi everyone. Hi Mary Ellen. Hi Barbara. Hi Hi Vera. Hi Bob. Hi Unhi. Hi Yolanda. Hi, Mary, the other Mary. I have Mary Ellen and I have Mary. Hi, Diane. And hi, Harry. All right. So, you guys, what we're gonna do now is, first of all, try to catch up with what we did last week and any questions, like any questions based on what we've been doing? I know that there's like these generic, all kinds of questions in the world of photos, but anything in particular that we did. And remember that if you don't remember what we did, especially when it's like Tuesday through Tuesday, don't forget
Mhm.
that you can always go to the handouts and you can go to the sorry,
My bad.
to the here we go to this summary
Mhm.
without having to watch the 4 hours and go, God, I wonder if I did all the homework or all the things that she told us to do. So we've still been talking a lot about all of the features. We've been showing the relative uh, distinction or similarities between the phone, the computer. We've been talking a lot about the iCloud, photo management through the cloud. And we started working with all of the metadata. Remember that we turned all those things to
Mhm.
view and so we could see the titles, we could see the location, we could see all those different tags. We ended up creating some photo stickers. Did anyone create some photo stickers as homework? I had asked you to just try to
Yeah.
create one. Yeah, give me a yes if you created some stickers. I saw some
Mhm.
little waving hands. Give me a little yes, like you created some stickers to see if it happened. And again, if you didn't, there's no right or wrong. It's just you guys doing it or not doing it. I'm going to write in the chat, by the way.
Oh,
So if
okay.
you see me saying good afternoon in the chat, lots of you guys have been writing in there. Can you all please continue to write in the chat and give a little welcome? There
Oh,
we
yeah. Okay.
go. Um, all right, so I got a couple of yeses for stickers. Oh, quite a few. I got 5 yeses for stickers. Okay, that's good. And then we said, I'm noticing that I'm just reading this. I haven't read this. Practice using the photo lookup feature on iPhone 13. Just the photo lookup feature, so it doesn't need to be on an iPhone 13. See, I don't always check. Um, just and this one was the one where like leaves or animal icons, they tell you what plant it is, etc. And I'm just adding that because I'm just reading this right now and going, that's not very clear. And that was just when you see a little leaf icon on a plant and you click on it, it'll tell you this is a palm tree or whatever, this is a dog. Location, adjusting time on all of that. So that's what we practiced. And if you got around to doing that, um, you were supposed to do some of that yourself. You were supposed to try to change the dates on things and review locations. And if there's any questions about that, so right now that's my question stuff that we did last week and that you might have questions, then please raise your hand. I see Diane has her hand up, so I'm going to start with her. Anyone else who has any questions about stuff reviewed last week? And that's why I was kind of reminding you how to review what we did last week. And if it's not something covered last week, then we'll hold off and we'll ask afterwards. Okay, so Diane?
Right. Now, when I went up to that little icon where you change it to maps or whatever, it
Mhm.
just seems like it's preset to maps. So I don't know if the rest of them are location, et cetera,
Icon,
turned on or
so which icon you're talking about? I'm not very clear. These,
over to, no, over on the top right there, that
the
one.
info one?
Yeah.
It's preset to maps when you have nothing selected. If I were to click on something, then it works. So you need to click on a photo. Okay.
Oh, okay,
And
then
if
we'll
you're in
talk.
between not clicking anything, then it just has that generic, your photos library has photos, has 1,200 photos, 72 videos. It weighs 20 gigabytes, and you have photos from all these places. It's a generic info. But when I click on this one, then it goes, oh, this image, iPhone 8, da 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 da, Montecito, California, whatever. And why in the world is Montecito, California showing up? Oh, it was showing up in the middle of the ocean. Now it's showing up in Montecito. And I remember this. This is a photo where he was fixing my tire on a bike ride that we were heading up in Montecito. So yeah, that's where we were. We were about to go and take Mountain Drive. So yeah, that's where that photo was taken. Okay. So yeah, if you click on nothing, it gets generic. So yeah, good question. So remember that's the info window, which you can either do Command I to pick it up, or you can just click on this little I and it gives you information about each photo, but a photo needs to be selected.
Is
Okay.
is it easier to delete photos uh, from the iCloud or the phone?
Oh, it doesn't matter. If I delete it from any place, it'll delete. If I were to delete this photo right now by hitting the delete key, it'll say, this photo will be deleted from iCloud Photos and from all your devices. It'll be in the recently deleted key. So I'll just hit delete and boom, it's gone. It would be just as easy to do that on the phone, on the computer, on the iCloud, on your iPad. It just always goes into your recently deleted. So we're about to practice this anyway. Guys, it doesn't matter if it's a photo that you love or don't love. Grab a photo, any photo that's in front of you, and let's delete it. And you can either hit the delete key on your keyboard, or you can right click, which is 2 fingers down, and then go to the very bottom of the choices and say delete one photo. And it'll say it'll be deleted from all your devices. So you will not see this photo anymore pretty much instantly anywhere, except for it'll be in the recently deleted. So boom, it's gone. Now, I didn't mean to delete that one. That was a precious, beautiful photo, and that was a mistake. Yay for the recently deleted. I'm going to go to my recently deleted, which you might see has a little like lock. I'm going to click on recently deleted, and I'm going to have to either put in my password or touch ID or type in whatever it is that I do. So I'm going to click on view album, and it's asking me for my password, which in this computer, I just touched my fingerprint to it, and it opened up. Now, these are all the photos that I have had here for the last month. So this one was deleted 15 days ago. So it has 15 days left. Okay. Then as I scroll down, I seem to have 23 days left in this one. I guess I deleted it last class. These I deleted the first class. And this one I deleted today. So it has 20 days. It's not like my entire deleted deletes once a month. Rather, each photo has as many days left within their own countdown of a month. Does that make sense? So in 15 days, a bunch will disappear because I deleted a bunch at the same time. Then in 23 days, this one will disappear, and 29 days it will disappear, and so on and so forth, whichever else comes. Now, say that I didn't mean to delete it. I can right click on it and say recover, recover, and it'll go straight back in. Boom. I didn't mean to delete it. It's not deleted anymore. And it's been recovered everywhere. Now it shows up everywhere. And I could have done that on my phone. I could have done that anywhere. So in fact, let me share my phone with you guys. And recently unlocked. I need to, you know how I had to use my other phone. 5163. Here we go. I'm gonna try again. Connecting to my phone, and now I'm going to, once it allow, phone in use, lock your phone to connect. It needs so many steps, but it's working. Unlock my phone. Connect. But then once I lock it, it's one or the other. It either wants me to connect or it doesn't. I think it'll now connect. There we go. Okay, so now let me share that window with you guys. And here we go. So here's my phone.
Yeah.
And had I gone to the Photos app on my phone, and let's say that I delete one of these. So I'm going to choose the peacock because it's so obvious and I don't have that many peacocks, so it's a pretty clear one. So if I hit the delete key on that one,
That's it. That's
it'll
one.
say the same thing. This photo will delete it on all
Mhm.
devices. So when I hit delete photo, it went away, right? It just like it disappeared. And if I want to go find, sorry, I didn't mean to close the thing. So if I want to go find it on my phone, I would have to scroll down, 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 until I get to my recently deleted. When I click on that one, it's going to ask me again for my code. So I'm going to enter my code, and here it is. There's my peacock. But if I were to go into this computer now, it hasn't yet had a chance to transfer, but give it a few minutes. You know how it takes a few minutes to what I do on my phone to show up on my computer. In a few minutes, the peacock would show up here because it's also would have been deleted from my computer. But now, if I decide to recover, I click on it. No, I wasn't meant to trash it on my phone. See, I have the choice of delete or
Very
recover.
good.
Now, what do you mean delete? It's already been deleted. Let me show you now. First of all, I'm going to recover because I don't want to get rid of that one. So I'm recovering it. Recover photo. So there it is. It's gone back into the thread and I have the same ones. But if I'm already in recently deleted, why would one of the options be to completely delete? So I'm going to grab this one of the ones from 15 days ago.
Mhm.
I try to recover, it would go back in. But why delete? Well, imagine that I just cleaned up my photos album and I just threw out a bunch of, 1,000 images that I don't think I want, or even one video, which is very big that I don't want. Why do I need to wait 30 days with it filling up my phone? What if I'm sure that I want to get rid of it? Then from the recently deleted, I can also delete it right now and not wait 30 days. So that's what this delete is. So if I hit delete, so this will be deleted from iCloud and all connected devices right now, right now. Does that make sense? It's
Mhm.
not going to be there a little bit later. So I'm going to delete from all devices and there, that's deleted for real. So now it's not in my recently deleted anymore. I had 19 items I should have shown you before. Now I have 18. That's that. It's like I'm not wanting to wait for it. I actually went ahead and got rid of it for real. That's what that was. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So hopefully everyone deleted something and then recovered it from both your computer and your phone. Once you have deleted and recovered or permanently deleted, if you meant to delete it from both your phone and your computer and your iPad.
Okay.
For those of you who have iPads, then give me a yes. And if anything isn't working, then either give me a no or ask some follow-up questions. Okay? And if you're stuck somewhere, speak up and I'll help you. Other than that, let me see. A couple people joined while I was talking. So who else came in? Let me see. Thomas, hi. And Bob Moran, because I had said yes, hi to Bob Burtoness, but now Bob Moran showed up. Moran or Moran? Bob? How should I pronounce your last name?
Moran.
Moran, I got that one right. Okay, and Urbanus. All right. Vera, did that work for you? Unhi or Anna, did that work for you? Molly, was it able to work for you? Yolanda?
I'm working on it. Just saying.
All right. If you're stuck, I can follow through. If you're just working on it, that's good. But let me know if you need help. So basically, on the computer, the recently deleted shows up right there. Now, what if you don't see a recently deleted there? It's because you didn't delete anything in the last 30 days. So the fact that I first told you to delete something, right, made it show up. So then I deleted it and there it is. Now it's showing up. Okay. But if you didn't have one there, it's just because the 30 days came and gone and went and you didn't delete anything, and thus there was nothing there to delete. Now I just deleted this one, but I didn't mean to delete that one. So I'm going to select it again and I'm going to recover it from here, or I can right click and recover. But the other place you can recover things from is from up at the top, where it gives me the choice to recover or delete. So I'm going to recover that one. But how about this one? How about this one is one that I want to delete forever and forever right now. Then I can delete it from the recently deleted. Okay, so I have 18 photos right now and one video. If I delete this one from here, you want to delete it permanently. This action cannot be undone. I like it that it's a bit more specific. In the iPhone, it kind of let you delete it. Here, it reminds you this is absolutely permanent. If I delete this one from forever, then now I'm down to just 17 photos in one video because I have deleted that one for now and forever. Does that make sense, you guys?
Mhm.
All right, I think I've got yeses from most people. Bob,
Yeah. I got it.
I hear you, Molly. Remember, try to find the place where you find the yeses and the nos. I think if you're on your computer.
Yeah, I'm still working. Okay.
And then Bob Burtness, I haven't seen your answer. Vera, Vera, you did answer on your other one. Do you need a hand, Bob, or you just didn't find the yeses and the nos? Well, I see Yolanda waving me down, so I'll talk to her, but Bob, let me know. I can't hear you. If perchance you are talking to me, I can't hear you. Okay, Yolanda?
Yeah, my brain's is still suffering, so I cannot I deleted, but I cannot remember uh to test it to bring it back. Where did you say it was? Where
Right,
can
so on the computer,
uh-huh.
if you want to bring this one back, you
Uh-huh.
can either go up here to where it says recover.
Recover. Where's the recover?
You might have it on the right side where you have zoom on the way, but it's at the top right. So here's my photo. It's in the recently deleted. I
Uh
select a photo and I could recover it if I want to keep it in place. Or I could right click on the photo and then choose recover right there. And then so I don't have to go up to the top. I can just choose recover from there.
I'm really sorry. It's none of anybody's fault. It's my brains. I'm still suffering.
Don't worry, don't apologize. I totally got it. Don't
uh,
worry. Let me
I tried like today, just right now before I raised my hand, I deleted something
yeah.
and I'm trying to
Go
find
to
where
the
did it
recently
go?
deleted folder. So here on
Oh,
the left side, do you see your recently deleted folder?
the recently deleted folder. Uh,
Under the Photos app, the first five, it's recently deleted. If you don't see that, I can have you share your screen. Do you want to share your screen?
okay. I forgot now.
Share?
Let me see. I am on on my photos. So let me, how do I, oh, share.
Share.
I
And
see.
share one more time.
Uh,
So after you click the first share, there's another button at the bottom that's blue that says share in white letters.
share.
All right,
So,
now move your photos up to the top so we can see it because it's kind of out of the way.
so this is the photos.
Yeah, so here you go. If you just deleted something, then you'll find it in the recently deleted photos.
Uh, I
So I'll
Okay,
click on that.
can you say I cannot really remember what I just the
Doesn't matter.
reason.
It'll be in the deleted. So click on it again. You just, instead of a long click, just a quick click.
Click,
Quick click.
click.
Yeah, and now you're going to click on view album and you're going to have to put in your password or your touch ID. So
Say click on the album
here, move to the right,
to the right.
have zoom in your way. And over here it says view album.
Oh, view album. Okay. Click it. Just one click.
Now put in your password because it says, so put your finger on your key, or you can use your password, whichever you prefer. But some people have a key. Since it says touch ID, your computer must have the place where you can put the little fingertip. You need to type in your password.
Okay.
Click on view album. And if you either touch your fingertip, then you don't need to put, there we go. And you must have deleted one of these. And I can see, no, it looks like you didn't because this one has 22 days left. This one has 21. That means that you didn't delete anything today, or it would say that you had 29 days left. So let's go delete something. Go to the library
Go to
up
the library.
and delete something. Grab one of these. I don't care what, just grab one of these, select it. Yeah, right click and delete, or hit the delete key on your keyboard. Either you go down all the way here for the delete, or you just use your keyboard. Okay, now you have to confirm that you really mean to delete it by saying delete. Good, it's gone. Now let's go to your recently deleted.
Recently deleted.
There. And there it is. And you didn't mean to throw it away. So now you can right click,
Right click.
add 2 fingers down and recover.
Recover.
So there we go. It's not in your deleted anymore and it's back in the same place you left it in your library. Okay. So
Go
you
back
don't,
to the library.
once a month you check. Yeah. Hit library.
Hmm.
Click on library. Yeah. Click on library there to be back to where you were.
Oh,
And
there it is.
okay. And
Thank
why did it
you.
go to the same spot? It went to the same spot because in the library, everything organizes itself by date and time. And so it'll necessarily go back to where you left it, not to the end of the queue, because this was taken whenever it was taken, and it's always going to go back there. It's not going to suddenly pop itself to as if it was just taken, because if this is from April 6th to 18th, this photo, if you put on the info right here, go ahead and click on this little icon for info right there.
Right here.
Move your mouse. Yeah, right there. Yeah, and the tip of your arrow has to be on it. There we go. So this is from April 7th at 9:38 a.m. And that's why if it's right there, if this is from April 8th, this will never set itself over there. Why? Because it was taken before this one. Okay. So whenever you recover a photo, it goes back to whenever it was taken. And sometimes people delete something that's really old and they're like, well, I can't tell if it's back. Well, it'll be back as long as you hit recover, but it'll be back in, you know, April 2021 or April 1992, whenever you took it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, thank you so much. Gosh.
You're
Uh,
welcome. Okay. All right. So
That's
I'm
it.
gonna,
That's it. Something.
yeah. Molly, what's your question?
Yeah, I deleted everything. It said delete all. I deleted everything. And now
From so your recently deleted is empty now?
yeah, yeah.
Well, if you said delete all from your recently deleted, then your recently deleted is now empty. You don't need to wait 30 days. Okay.
Okay.
Now, if you deleted your photos from your normal library, then they would all
Yeah,
be deleted. But if it's your recently deleted that you emptied, then yeah,
yeah,
that's
it's empty.
I don't want to wait 30 days. Why? If you're sure you
That's
don't want
right.
to, you can delete them sooner. Okay. But sometimes we forget, we delete something we don't want here and there, and then we forget about it. Well, the computer remembers and it takes care to deal with it within 30 days.
Mhm.
But just in case you've been doing a lot of cleanup, if perchance you want to just go check it to make sure that nothing good landed there, you can still check it by doing what we just did and then go, maybe I shouldn't throw this one away. You can recover it. Most of the times, what you throw away is what you throw away. It's only in case you made a mistake. Otherwise, just either let it be there and it'll just be in a month. If you just took one or two here and there, there's no need to follow it through because
Yeah, yeah.
here and there.
Did it.
But when you do a cleanup and you get rid of 100, well, sure, go ahead and delete them sooner. They're not safe there. Okay. All right. Okay, so that was a great question because it led to something I was going to teach today. So I kind of kept going with that conversation. Any other questions about what we did last week? Anything that you tried and didn't work or you need more explanations about or anything? Remember that I recommended that you always have a little notepad or something because yeah, you might have on Wednesday of last week had a thought when you were practicing what you did on Tuesday, and then by today you'll forget. So remember to write down anything that did or didn't work or that you were trying to do that didn't work. That way you have a question you can ask me now at the beginning of the class. All right. So now I'm sharing my screen again. Let's keep going. As usual, I'll start with a computer. I'm going to remember that I'm always hitting library on the left side and all photos on the top. And what this is showing me is every single photo in order of when it was taken. That's all this is, every single photo. So what if I want to find a photo and now today we're going to talk about the things that the app already has in place for us to find photos. And then we're going to start making our own system to find the photos. But right now, we're just going to go with all the choices that the computer has. First of all, if you know that you took a photo and you know that it was your daughter's wedding photo and that she got married in 2021, it would take a while to scroll down to 2021. So one thing you can do is you can go over here to the years choice, and then you can head over to 2021 or 2015. You know, like when you have a year, like if you know the date of something, that's the best thing you can do. Now, what if you know that it was in 2021, but you don't remember if it was June 12th or June 21st? You just don't remember those details. Maybe it was a festival, maybe it was a vacation you took. Yeah, I remember it was June, but I don't remember exactly what date. Because if you remember the exact date, like it's your anniversary, you know the date, you can put the date right here and that would work. But if you don't, you go to years. So everyone target something in mind, okay? Think of something you want to find. Go to click on years, and then let's double click on that date. There's going to be one photo per year showing up. It's a random photo. You could make choices of what photo it is, but I'm going to just double click on 2021. And then notice what happened up here. I didn't switch to months. Just by double clicking on 2021, the selection up here, months just happened. Like I didn't do that. I was in years and I double clicked on 2021 and it switched to months. And I can go up and down and find the month that I'm looking for. Maybe I'm looking for March. Maybe I'm looking for June. Ah, here it is. I was looking for June. Does that make sense? Maybe I was looking. So it's divided into 12 pieces. Now, it's divided into 12 pieces with a few photos of each month. So it just gives you an idea of what was taken that month, but it's not everything. Now, this isn't the real library, so I don't have every photo of June 2021, just the ones I brought in. But it looks like I did some photos on June 2nd, June 5th, June 6th, June 12th, June 19th, and June 24th. So these are all photos from June 2021. Then I'm like, oh, that's the event I was looking for. Cool. I can double click. But if I'm not sure, it doesn't matter. I'll double click. I know it was around then. And so it takes me to all the photos taken around then. And in this little window, I have events from June 5th to June 15th. And I go, maybe it was a bit earlier. Oh, there it was. This is when they graduated. Phew, I couldn't remember what day their ceremony was. Here it is. Oh, look, in the end, it was in May. It wasn't in June or something like that. And then I look at the info. Oh, yeah, it was June 2nd. So then I'm closer. So again, you start with a year. If you're not sure what year it is, then you have to, scroll a little bit and then you go, was it 2020? And you double click on 2020 and you look up and down and you go, oh, yeah, yeah, here.
Ah,
All right. So did that work? If that worked for you to find something, let me know. Give me a yes. Were you able to pinpoint some event, some trip, something you did by using the years and the months? So remember, I told you, think of something, think of some event that you want to go find, and go find it using years and then months. And if you found it, give me a yes. For example, I don't remember much when this was filmed, but I do remember that we filmed during COVID. See how everyone here has masks on? So clearly that would have been 2020. So then I didn't remember it was October or June. I have no idea, but just go by going to 2020 and scrolling up and down, I can go, oh, there it was. And it was, oh, it was October. Was it that late? Here are all the photos of that film. Does that make sense? Bob, I haven't heard from you. I'm not seeing yeses or nos, and I'm not hearing you. And if you're not available because you're, stepped out, fine. But if you can hear me and I can't hear you, please talk to me so that I can hear you. And then Harry was asking, I'm noticing in the chat that earlier he said how to use the sticker and also where is sync in iPhone. So how to use the stickers. When you make a sticker, you would use them when you're sending a text or a message or an email, whenever you would normally use a little smiley symbol or, emojis. Instead of an emoji, you can also click on hold on, turn on the fan. Sometime in the afternoon, the light starts coming in. I was cold before now. So Yeah, so the stickers end up in your computer's emojis little library. So if later I was going to text something to someone, when I go send a little smiley face, that when you go do that, you'll see that one option there is stickers, and you click on stickers and then you'll find the little sticker that you made. Got it? Did that work, Harry? I mean, go check that, but did you understand where to find them or how to use them? Harry? I was answering your question, Harry, and I think that your sound is off. So if you're talking to me, I don't hear your answer. So all the stickers go land in your computers or your phone's emojis so area. So, you know, the little thumbs up, smiley faces that we send to people. There's also a section there called stickers, and that's where they'd be. All right. I'm going to clear your answers, and then Harry, you also asked about syncing, but I'm not sure if you're there or listening because you hadn't answered before. So if you give me some response, then I'll know you're listening. Then I'll answer your other question. Otherwise, it makes no sense to answer questions for people who are not there. Oh, you said yes. Okay, sync. Now, when you said where is sync in iPhone? Okay, why would you want to sync? I'm not sure. You never need to sync if your stuff is going to the cloud. It happens on its own. And it's actually a feature called pushing, and the phone pushes it to the cloud, and the cloud pushes it to the computer. The only time you would need to sync is if you are yourself moving the photo. Oh, you just turned on to be right back. I'm talking, Harry just turned on, so maybe you're not there. But anyway, you don't really need to sync yourself. When you connect your phone by cable to your computer to drag your photos over by hand, then that would create a syncing feature. But you wouldn't even use the word sync. You would just say import or something like that. So I'm just trying to see what you're looking for. So I'm going to wait until you explain that a little bit more. Okay. I'll explain your question a little bit more. All right. So that's the features of how to find things by hand. Now, if you do remember the date, we can go to the search bar right there next to the years, months, and photos, and we can put in the date. So say that I have something that was taken in, July. If I don't remember the exact date, but I write July 2022, then here you go. It's showing me everything I took in July 2022. Okay. So I don't need to go to the month and dates and all that. But if I look specifically for something for 12th of July 2022, then it will show you the photos that could be 12th of July 2022. Okay. So if you could also do that. So it's more like a searching it by typing it than instead of searching it by visually. All right. Okay, so that's why when we're just generally working on all of our photos, we live in the all photos because we're in library and all photos. And when we click on that, it defaults to scrolling all the way to the bottom to your latest photos. Okay, so just to make sure that that's true, go ahead and once again, grab your phone and take a picture, for example, of your keyboard or something and see it appear at the end. And you'll see that that's it. Those are the latest photos that you just took. All right. On the phone, when you first open your Photos app, see that it's the same set of photos. The last one I'm seeing is the newest one. So what you're seeing is the latest photos, not the old ones. You'd have to scroll all the way over to see the oldest photos. Okay, I'm gonna keep moving this little guy out of the way a little bit. There we go. Okay, next comes on the sidebar, the next choice is favorites. And favorites, we already talked about. It's the one that you put your little heart on and thus turn them into favorites. And on the phone, you have to scroll, 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 scroll until you get to utilities, and there's the favorites. And you would click on the favorites right there, and it'll open up, and the same favorites right there, same favorites that I have over here. The difference is that on the phone, it has this little video that it's making of your favorites. Like it begins it's not a video that you can export, but it's a little tiny slideshow, so to say, not a video. And it's basically going through one by one everything that's here, right? So how do you get that on your computer? What if I wanted to do that, but on my computer? Could I do that on my computer? You could, there's other albums that you can do that to, but you can't on your computer do that to the favorites. You'll see there's the albums that we make over here later when we make albums, we can click a little button right here and just show it like that. But for the favorites, they don't have that feature right now. So for the favorites, you can see them this way. Well, what if I want to see these a bit bigger? Well, then you have to double click. So I'm going to go to the top of the oldest one. I'm going to double click and then I'm going to see them in big. And then I can just start either clicking my keyboard to go to the right to the next one and to the next one. I'm clicking my keyboards, or I can move it with my fingers. I can move them over to the right, and I can keep seeing them that way. Yes, Barbara?
Are you sharing your screen? Because I don't see your screen. I just see all the people.
Okay, let me stop my share and start again. Whenever people don't see me, let me know, because usually it's fallen behind your windows or something. When I share again, usually it pops up. And yes, I was sharing, but whenever someone says they can't see it, it's very easy for me to reshare and then everyone can see it. So remember, if you can't see something, do like Barbara did, which is tell me and I will reshare. Okay. Cool. So that's how you would see your photos bigger. So I'm going to go ahead and say that I don't want to see them bigger. And what I did is I hit the escape key or I went back to favorites. So if I want to see something bigger, I either double click and then to get out of this big mode, I can either hit the escape key. So again, double click and hit the escape key, or double click and click on this little back arrow right there. It takes me back. Or I can also hit my spacebar key to make it bigger instead of double clicking. So for some people, the double click is uncomfortable because they don't do it fast enough or whatever. Spacebar, spacebar. Now, what's a spacebar? That big bar that's on your keyboard at the bottom where you write a space in between each word that you type. That's the spacebar. So if I click on the spacebar, select a photo and then click on the spacebar, then I make it big. And again, I can hit the spacebar again to make it smaller. So spacebar up, spacebar down, spacebar up. Now I drag to the right to see the photos on the right, and I drag to the left to see photos on the left. And I can keep doing it that way, or I can hit the space bar to be done. If all of that navigation worked for you guys, let me clear and give me a yes. Okay, oh, Bob Burtness, I see a yes right there. That means that you were able to hear me. I'm not sure what I was asking you. I was asking you something, but I see that you're here because you found the yes. All right, so you're able all to navigate in and out and in and out of these photos. Okay. So now, again, the favorites, you would have to have given it a heart. And you'll go over here. I'm going to put a little heart on that. And it looks like all I did was give it a heart. But when I go find it in my favorites, there it is. There's the one that I gave a heart on. Now, can I reorganize these? Nope, because the favorites also show up based on order of time they were taken. So even if this is my most favorite, I can't put it in front of another one. Or if this is my least favorite, I can't drag it to the back, okay? It's just by clicking on it. So when I click on one of these that has a heart, that one just disappeared. I didn't warn you yet. I'm going to Command Z to undo that. So Command Z is always undo. So I didn't mean to turn this one off, but the problem is that if I don't know when I took this photo, if I have no idea when I took it, and it's in my favorites, and now I were to just click on that little heart, it's like I took the favorites feature off, and now where is it? Where is it? I don't know. I don't remember when I went to that museum. So this is kind of harsh. So if this is happening and you're on your computer, you can always do Command Z and it pops in again. If not, before you delete something, you better know where you took it from. Oh, look, January 3rd, 2023. So then I can always go back, find it, and give it a heart again. But otherwise, if this wasn't a favorite, if this was a favorite and I just willy-nilly selected it from touching this button, I'm kind of out of luck. You know what I mean? So this is a very good organizational method. It's cute to use it now and then, but it's so easy to by mistake just click on this and lose that photo. So I prefer making favorite albums of my own. Like I'm going to create an album and say, these are my favorites, and I'm going to drag them there. So we're going to learn how to do that in a little bit. And then they can't get out of that album unless I actually take it out of the album versus this little heart button that is kind of flimsy. Does that make sense what I mean? Flimsy, like not necessarily stable, because in any moment I click on this thing and I lose this photo, and then who knows where it is again to go find it. It's from so long ago. Yes, Diane?
Once you delete it from your photos, but it's in the favorites. No.
Oh, no. Thanks for asking that question. I'm not deleting it. I would never delete this from here. Turning the favorites off does not delete the photo. Let me backtrack. You said two things that I need to clarify. First of all, this is never moving the photo out of the way. So let me go find one of the newer ones. This photo, and I'm going to find the date, June 17th, 2025, is not a duplicate. If I go to my library and I go to June 17th, 2025, there it is. This photo is one and only photo. By turning this on or off, if it's off, if I go to favorites, it doesn't appear there. If it's on and I go to favorites, it appears there. This is the one, but it hasn't left. It's not duplicated. It's not anything. This is very, very important. Listen to me, you guys. All these photos are here one time and one time only. If they also happen to fulfill the it's a word when you make choices anyway. If it also happens to be a favorite, if I click on favorites, all I'm seeing is favorites, but it didn't duplicate the photo. I don't have this photo now twice. It's just that when I click on favorites, the ones that I had assigned to be favorites show up here, but it's still showing me that one photo that was here. Same as if I make an album, and I'm going to be showing you some albums, but say that I make an album and I called it Vacation, and I decided that I'm going to make a vacation. This is a folder, never mind. So say that under this test album, see how my last photo is of a flower. If I were to grab this photo and put it in this test album, right? And we aren't talking albums yet, but I'm going to show you. I just put that photo in the test album. Let me put it also under mushrooms. It's a folder called mushrooms, and this is not a mushroom, but I'm just showing you. Sorry, I didn't actually, where was that photo here? I'm going to put it under the album called Big Mushrooms. So I've just put that photo and favorites. Let me go see. Is it there? It's in the library. There it is. I look for it in favorites. Yep, there it is. It's the I Love New York one there. Then I look for it under Big Mushroom. Yep, there it is. Then I look under, where else had I put it? Test album. Yep, there it is. Now I put it in 5 albums, but it's still the one photo. It's just, it's like, imagine that I buy 3 TVs in my house and I'm watching the same program, but I see it in my bedroom, in the kitchen, and in the living room. But it's the same program, right? If I turn off my TV in the kitchen, doesn't mean that the photo goes away. Does that make sense? So if I take it away from test album, I'm going to delete it from test album right now and hit the delete key. It's gone, but it's gone from test album because it wasn't supposed to be there. And if I take it away from Big Mushroom, it's not a mushroom. It doesn't belong here. I take it away. I deleted it, but I'm not deleting the photo. In fact, here, let me show you. If I were to even try to delete it, there's a choice to delete the photo forever. Then it'll go into my recently deleted, or what I just did is I removed it just from the album. So I'm removing it from this album and I'm going back to favorites and it's still there. I'm going to remove it from this one by turning on off the heart. When I go back to my library, the photo is still there. Okay. Like it's not been duplicated and quadruplicated. It's just been pointed to that folder here and there. And now it's like, no, you're not a mushroom. You don't belong there. I removed it from that mushroom album. I removed it from the test album. And now I just removed it from my favorites because I turned off that little heart. But it's always been one photo. I am not duplicating nor triplicating nor anything. I am just pointing it to different places to have it fulfill that condition. There we go. That's what I was looking for before. It fulfills the condition of mushroom. Okay, I'm going to put it in the mushrooms. It doesn't fulfill the condition of mushroom. I will remove it from the album mushroom, but it is still a photo in my album. The only way I get rid of this photo is if I put it in the recently deleted. So watch. I'm going to open again the mushrooms. I'm going to put this one under mushrooms. There we go. So now it's showing up as a big mushroom. Good. Now I'm going to go to my library. Also, I'm going to make it a favorite. So now this photo shows up in favorites and under big mushrooms. Good. Now I go to my library and I delete it. If I delete it, I will now delete the photo, delete one photo. I'm actually deleting it, not removing it from albums. Are you sure you want to delete this photo? It's going to be deleted from all your devices, same as before. Sure, delete it. Thank you. I deleted it. I go to my recently deleted and there it is. It's in my recently deleted. Okay, so now it's been deleted. So now let me go visit my favorites. Is it there? Nope. It was taken away from my favorites. How about McMushroom? Nope, it's not there. By deleting that photo, it also took it out of all the albums. Does that make sense? Otherwise, it makes no sense. I would delete a photo from one place and I would still have in other places. It was always the one photo. Now, what if I recover it though? If I decide, oh, that wasn't meant to be trash, let me recover it. I just recovered it. When I go back to my favorites, there it is. When I go back to my make mushrooms, there it was. Okay? It remembered where it belonged. Did that make sense, you guys? If that
Mhm.
worked, let me actually clear your feedback. If that made sense to you, if I put a photo in 20 different organizational methods, which is all this is, it's not doubling or triplicating that photo. It is just like pointing it in all those directions because it fulfills the quality of big mushroom. This one didn't. It fulfills the quality of being a favorite, which it was. And when I deleted it, it deleted from everywhere because that photo doesn't exist anymore. But if I save it before the 30 days are gone, then I get to have it come back. Now I'm going to right click and remove this one from the album because it's not a mushroom. And so I'm going to remove it from the album. And now I don't have it showing up as a weird big mushroom because it's not, but I'm going to keep it as a favorite because it is a favorite. And I'm still talking about the one photo. The only way I get rid of it is by deleting the photo. And it deletes from everywhere and every instance of it will be deleted. All right, if that made sense, since I haven't really had you make albums yet, it would be if you have albums and you know how to do that, go ahead and try it, put it in some bizarre album so it's easy to find. Other than that, we're going to get to albums and then you're going to see what I was talking about. But at least you can choose a photo that's icky and put it in your favorites and you'll see it there and it would disappear from your favorites once you delete it and it'll come back into your favorites once you recover it from the deleted album. Okay, I'm going to clear your answers. Is there any questions about that?
Thank you for explaining that because I thought they just had to be in the library. I didn't know about the favorites. I mean, you must have told us, but my brains just suffered. So I didn't know they had to be in the favorites and the recently saved, things like that.
Yeah, exactly. You choose where to put it. Some photos just languish forever in the library because you don't make anything special with them. But others are like, oh, this is from my botanical collection, or oh, this is from my trip collection, or oh, this is from my boat trip collection, which by the way, for those of you who I set out, you would be seeing photos from my trip. This is all from my latest trip. Look at that's in Ibiza. Isn't that cute? I like it. I don't know why I like this photo. I just feel like I'm an angel. Anyway, but within my trip, I would still have favorites, and some might just be trip photos that, yeah, I'm never going to do anything with it, and others might be the absolute favorites. So I'm going to give it a little heart, and it's going to automatically now appear under my favorites. There it is. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't have favorites within my trip that I want to show as my trip favorites. And that is what I'm going to do an actual album for. So if I put a little heart, that's because it's a favorite from wherever. And I have everything from when the kids were born to the trip I just took to something in the middle. So this could come from wherever, but in favorites, there's no organization. All it is a heart that makes them a favorites, but there's no way to organize your favorites. They're all together. So I would reserve a heart for those photos that are such favorites that they deserve a heart. You know what I mean? Like your absolute tip tops. But for everything else, if you have just had a trip and you took, 20,000 photos or 200 photos, you might still have 5 or 10 absolute favorites of that trip. So for that, we're going to choose and make a little album that we can go back to because Apple or the phone app can guess at many things, but it can't get into my brain and tell me which are my favorites. It can tell me which ones it thinks are the best, but it can't tell me which are my favorites. Sometimes one isn't well exposed, but it's of a moment that fills my heart. It's still my favorite, even if it isn't like the best photo, right? So that's when you make an album for the stuff that only your brain can decide. So now let's go back to the rest of the choices that are here on the left side. So we went to libraries, favorites, maps we explored the other day. You click on maps, and as long as your photo had location services turned on, which we also did the other day, then you would be able to see a map of where your photos were taken. Recently saved is a new feature that wasn't there before. And these are for photos that you just added to the mix. And in my case, most of the photos that I put from my trip have just been added. So all of this is trip photos that I just did. Before that, it keeps going up to November 2024. And so I'm not exactly too sure. In my case, all my photos are recent in the sense that I just made this album for teaching. But in my case, if I go to my library and I have 1,200 photos. If I go to recently saved, I have 1,100 photos. So basically, but just about every one of my photos is considered a recently saved. So those of you who have photos from a longer time ago, you might be able to see if there's some place where it doesn't consider it recent anymore. I don't know. Because I created this album just to teach. So even though the photos might have been taken in, 2002, I just put them all in here within the last year because they're photos that I dragged from my real album to create this album. Does that make sense? So I can't recently saved. They're all my album seems recently saved. So if you go to your recently saved, what kind of photos are you seeing in your recently saved? Someone?
Things in the last month.
Okay. Vera, Barbara,
April through July.
April through July. Okay. So does that make sense? So for you guys who have a regular type of a album, then recently saved means something. For me,
I don't have it.
oh, what's that?
I don't have it on mine.
Okay. So over here, you don't have the choice recently saved. Have you taken a
No.
photo recently?
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
yeah, sure.
So that,
2025.
okay. Did you take a photo within the last month?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So then I don't know why you're not seeing that.
Okay.
I don't know. Have you been updating? Wait, what operating system are you using?
An
Sequoia?
8.
Okay, so
Oh,
that's
oh, 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 no. What is it? 7 to
Sequoia.
18? Sequoia.
Sequoia. So then it could be that you need to update your Sequoia, or I don't know,
Sequoia.
because this is new. This wasn't there before, so I was thinking that maybe it's one of the older versions.
Oh, Monterey. I'm sorry. It's
Oh, you're in
Monterey.
Yes, and Monterey recently saved doesn't exist. Yeah,
No, that's it. That's it.
it's a newer operating system. Yeah.
I
Okay.
figured that.
All right, so we've gone through everything that's up there. In Monterey, you have more things up there, in fact.
Right, right.
And you don't have a thing called collections. A lot of
No,
the things that are here in collections are there under that top area. Okay.
right.
They
It
just have
doesn't
it
have,
organized a bit differently. But
yeah.
since I can't share what it looked, let me see. My computer, as usual, is crashing. Let me see if I can get around to showing you what it looks in the Monterey version. Yeah, so I'm gonna join us with my other computer,
Diana,
and then I can show what it should look like in Monterey. Yes?
does the AI automatically, for example, I don't remember putting Sinagoga Española in this picture, but it is written there with the date it was taken, and I was wondering who would
Uh,
who just interfere with this kind of, can
no,
you see what I
if,
am showing?
if it's, no, you're not sharing your screen, so I don't see. Let me stop my
Oh, I
share.
see. Uh,
So it depends. If it's under title or something like that, that would have been you putting it in there. If
oh,
not, go ahead and share it. There's a way in that they
let me see. How do I share again? I forgot. I'm so sorry. I'm really brain
the share
down.
button that's green share button.
Where is the share button in here? Let me
Go to
see.
your Zoom, look to where you see the Zoom, not in the Photos app, but in the Zoom app. It's the green with a black arrow.
Uh, uh, may I may I request you to take over?
Not until you share. You first need to share your screen or I can't do it. So you
Uh,
first need to share before you can request
oh,
your.
here. Okay, I found the share, and then another share,
Okay,
and then
perfect.
so there's the synagogue. I mean, I haven't seen the others, but
Okay,
if
so you need to move it
AI,
to the middle because I can't see you by pushing it out like that, I can't see your app. There we go. Okay, so now I need you to touch this button right there, which is the info, and we'll find out where that info is written.
oh, I see right there.
That,
Just
yeah,
touch it.
yeah. Click on that. Okay, so this is okay. Good. That's perfect question because you don't have it written in a title. You don't have it in the caption. You don't have it as a keyword. So it's nothing you wrote. It's rather, it's a photo taken in the location of where it was taken is saying that it was taken in the Synagoga Española in Prague in in
Sure, it is in Prague. They won't be speaking like Española, I mean, that's different language.
but it might be that that one is called Sinagoga Española. I mean, in Prague, since it's the Spanish synagogue, right? The name of it in Prague must be that because in the location it appears like that. Okay. So they must, because it is the Spanish synagogue. So the Spanish people who go to it would call it, even in Prague, Sinagoga Española. All I'm saying, this is a location feature. Okay. So the location is telling you that that's its name. So that's why it says that. Now, this was shared with you by Annika, right? Which is,
Then my granddaughter, yes.
so
But
there's a chance that she gave it that name before sharing it with you. And then that's why it has that name. Okay. It's
oh,
either the location feature or it's a name that Annika gave it. Okay. It was shared with you. So it's not something you did. Okay.
oh,
So she either wrote Sinagoga Española or that is how, if you were to type in Sinagoga Española Prague on a Google map, if it points to that, that means that that's what they call it in Prague. Okay.
wow. Hmm.
So,
That's strange because he just sent a small picture in my message in my iPhone actually.
yeah.
So and then I don't know how it got over here with big and things like that. So I
Well,
was
from
wondering
your
whether
messages, she shared it with you in messages. You can see over here. Okay. And as soon as you see it, when you click on it to see it bigger, it downloads into your phone. We're going to talk a bit about messages and what that happens. There's photos that you want in your and phone is photos that you don't. But when you open your messages, you get to download them into your phone, and even tells you how in what mode it was shared. And in fact, if you click on this here, on this little arrow, go ahead and click on that arrow to see perchance if it takes you anywhere. To click with your mouse onto the arrow to see if it's live. Yeah, right onto that blue arrow. The tip of your arrow has to go and touch that. Does anything happen when you click there?
No.
She's
I
clicking.
supposed to be, is it supposed to be left or right? And
Just make sure to click and now click and see if over
Click.
here you can go anywhere. I don't know if it'll take you anywhere. I think it's just telling you that that's where it came from. Okay, I was wondering if it would take you to your messages app. I don't know. I don't have a shared photo here to do it myself. So I wanted to see if this was live, like if it would take you to your messages app. It could be, but I don't.
Just click it.
Yeah, click on it. It did. See, there you go. It just took you to your messages app, to the photo that she sent, and to the text that she sent about it. Okay? So
that's
there you
exactly how. That's exactly how she said it. Hi Lola, hi
yeah.
Lola, my grandma. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Your,
The
this
sentence
is
to you.
yeah, this is your messages app. And when
Oh,
it
beautiful.
arrived, when it first arrives, it arrives with a little icon right there that looks like this. It's a teensy little arrow that goes like that. And if you touch that arrow, it downloads into your Photos app. Okay. So
Oh,
if you guys go to your messages, you'll see that there's photos that are there that still have that teensy little icon. That means that you have not put it down in your Photos app. But if you've clicked on that little icon and it's gone, it's because that photo has already been saved into your Photos app. And that's how you get to choose whether to save a photo or not. Okay.
interesting. Thank you. Because that's exactly how she said it. Now how it went to my where you had brought us, which is our photos.
Yeah.
And, it was very
And she might have sent it to you on the phone and you did this on the phone. Or
yeah.
or you might have read it here. It's the same messages app on you're seeing it on your computer, but she probably sent it to you and you read it on your phone and you clicked on that little icon and it downloaded, and that's why you're seeing it now in your Photos app. Okay? So now
Wow.
you can quit your messages app because that way you can still see your Photos app. So let's go over here and go to your messages and click this little red button so that you can close your messages app. There you go. And now you're back in your Photos app. And now you can back out of this little arrow right there. And you're back into all your photos. Okay. So
Thank you, Diana.
you're welcome. All right. Did anyone else try that? Did you go to your messages and download a photo
Yeah.
in your Photos app? And by the way, it's going to locate itself in the whatever time she took that photo. If she took that photo in April, it's going to be found in April. If she took it in July, it's going to be found in July. It'll go and stash itself in the order of it was taken, not the day you received it on your messages app, but on the date of when that photo was actually photographed. Okay, because
Just one last question.
let
Does
me
AI,
wait, let me finish the sentence. The photo when it's taken, the camera, the phone that takes that photo, in the metadata of that photo, it saves the date the click happened. Okay. So when she sends it to her, in this case, to her grandmother, and then Yolanda downloads it into her phone or into her computer Photos app, it remembers the date of when it was taken, not the date that Yolanda received it, but the date it was taken. And that's why it's gone and be stashed wherever it was taken. Yes, Yolanda, what's your last question? You said
yeah,
you had,
my last question was this, does AI interferes a lot in, because I don't know how this all happened.
no, this isn't interfered. This is you having clicked on it when you received it and said, sure, download. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. If I share my entire screen this time, not just my little screen. If I receive a photo in my phone, for example, so I'm going to go to my phone here and I'm going to go to my text app. This is a phone that's fake, so to say, so I don't really get much in my texts. But if I receive a photo in my texts over here, and I click on it there, for example, no, I don't have any. I should have someone. Can somebody send a photo to this phone number? Let me figure out what this phone number is. Everyone write down this number and send me a photo or two, and let me figure out what this phone number is. It's okay, so write down 805-869-3956. So that's this phone. So I'm going to show you how to send a photo, and then everyone try to send this phone number a photo. So say that I want to send, let me go to here, this photo. Say that I want to send this photo to someone. Okay. So you guys choose a photo you want to send to me, and then you can go over here to this little share icon, which is the opposite of downloading. It's a box with an arrow going upwards. The download is the box going downwards. So I'm going to click on this little button to share, and I'm going to send it. Oh, I can't in this one send it by messages because I don't have these messages connected. All right. So you can email it to me, but that's not the point. I wanted you guys to send it. So go to your phone. Let me see if you can do it on the phone. So choose a photo over here. Maybe you guys had a phone that messages that you could send, but I didn't. So I'm going to find that same photo in here. I don't know that I can send to my own phone, can I? I'm going to click on this photo, and I'm going to again go to that icon there that's share, and I'm going to send it by text. See messages? I'm going to text it to, and what was the number that I told you? I don't know my own phone number. If it's not mine, it's a school. So 805
869
3956. Okay. So I'm sending to that person, and I'm going to say send. And if I go now, since it's my own photo, I'm not sure how it's going to handle sending, but hopefully by now you guys have been sending me stuff. Yeah, message saying failure because I don't have my own phone doesn't have a phone system running. It's hard to explain, but can anyone please send me something? Are you able to, is someone able to send me a photo? Yeah.
Yes.
Is it not receiving?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the school stopped paying.
Go ahead.
Again, if the school stopped paying.
Try that.
If it arrives, it'll arrive and we'll see it arrive. Since it's not an active phone, maybe the school isn't paying for the phone portion of it anymore. I don't know. I need to find out. But did a couple of you said yes, like you texted me a photo?
I did. Yeah.
Seeing something showing up. I'm going to stop my share just in case it's because it's set up to share like that. Let me open. Well, if it arrives, it arrives. If it doesn't, it's because this is happening because they're not paying for the phone. I need to find out if they're still paying for the phone system. I don't know if they are. So you guys will figure it out. But the thing is, I wanted to show you that when you do have someone send you something and see my own message that I sent to me failed. But anyway, say that this had arrived to me. I could click on the little icon that would have here for download. And if I click on it, I would have downloaded it. But now I can't because I don't know. I'll have to wait and see if anything that you guys send me arrives. Anyway, I'll wait for it. I'll see a message if it does arrive. Okay, so that's how you would download photos, okay? Let me see if I can show you.
my end, it says delivered to the 869-3956 number.
Okay, well, my phone isn't yet picking him up, but we'll see. It might, but it's not picking them up, so yeah. You might notice that this is a phone that I never use, and yet I still get a lot of junk, and the junk that I get is things from China, things from whatever. It's all junk because no one has this number. But I did last time manage to send some stuff. Oh, here's the icon. There we go. So here's something that I sent myself, and there we go. See that little down arrow? If I were to click on that, it would download into my Photos app. Okay, so this is an example of a photo arriving to my phone. If I just look at it here,
Are you sharing, Diana?
oh, thank you. Thanks. I thought I was, but you're right, I'm not. Okay, so here you go. Here I found a text that sent me something. And if I just look at them in my phone like this, that's it. I just look at them in my phone. But if I were to click on this icon here, then I am downloading it into my Photos app. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
So once I download it in my Photos app, if I were to go over here to April 15th, I might find it. Okay, now I didn't download this one today, but I might have downloaded it some other time. I don't know. Let me go to April 15, April 16. Oh, this is 2024, so it's April, May. So I guess I never did download it.
Yeah. Okay.
Let me see, April 25. I'm looking up here. And no, looks like I don't have this photo downloaded. Okay, so if I were to do it right now, if I were to click on this little guy and it says, yeah, see how the thing disappeared?
Yeah.
It disappeared because I've downloaded it. If that is still there, that means I haven't downloaded it. Does that make sense? And if I look at here on the dates now, April 15th, let me see, what day is this? This is April 15th. I should find it. There it is. Look at that. It's here. It wasn't there before. I downloaded it and now it's in my Photos app. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
So that's why you found it in your phone, in your computer, Yolanda, because you downloaded that photo that your granddaughter sent to you. You downloaded into by clicking on that little icon, and you might have not meant it. And this is the thing that you guys have to be careful because you might be getting messages that you don't care about, or you it's great, thanks for sharing, great, I love that you had a donut this morning, but you don't want to put it in your Photos app. Then don't click on this little icon. Versus, oh, this is a precious photo, I do want it in my Photos app. Just click on that little icon and it'll download into your Photos app, and then it's part of your phone.
How do you delete that other photo that you didn't download?
I don't. It's still in my messages. I don't see why I would
Okay.
delete it. I would want to watch it, keep it there. Oh, if you really want to delete any phone that you received that you don't want at all, you can right click on it, say more, and then put it in the trash. So you can
Okay.
photos from texts that you don't want at all. Yes. So say you get a
Thank
lot
you.
of, for example, again, some people send lots of really heavy as far as file size. They'll send a long PDF with 20 pages that I don't need anymore. Well, I can just right click and delete it because I don't want that hanging out in my computer.
Yes.
So then, yeah, you can just right click on it and delete it. Or long click. If you're on a phone, you don't right click, you just long press long with your finger, and then that more appears and you can delete it. So let me go back again. Where is it that I found that photo here? Oh, here was a photo. Here it was here. So long press, and then you get all these choices, and you have to go to more. And under more, you get given the choice to delete. You can delete all the photos that you don't want, and then you hit this little trash can. I'm not going to delete these because I'm going to leave them. But there you go. That's how you long press and pull up all the delete features. Okay. All right. Mary, if you change the date on a photo, does it take a while to sync with a new date? Also, if I save a shared photo, Does it also take a while? Okay. No, you just saw me. I just saved that photo and it appeared instantly into my phone, right? Mary?
Yes.
Yeah.
But
And then the
it
new
is taking a
data,
while on mine, so there must be something.
well, you're on Zoom. There's a lot of stuff. By the way, are you connected to the cloud and from the cloud to your computer? Do you have that whole system set up in your case?
Yes.
Okay. So many times when you're on Zoom, we're using a lot of the Zoom power. So because this
Okay.
has to go through the internet, through the Wi-Fi onto the cloud and from the cloud to your computer. So give it a little bit.
Thank you.
And then the date, it should be pretty instant. If I right click, if I want to change the date on this by going to image, adjust date and time, it would happen instantly. But you mean for it to then go to the photos, that date to be changed on both, same, it's just up and down to the cloud and back. So once it happens, once that process happens, and I notice that when I have people take pictures and see when it appears, for some people that photo appears on their computer instantly, and for some people it might take 10 minutes. It depends on how quick the process is and how often it's doing. So Vera is now saying that the photo that you sent is message failed to send. Yeah. I think that they must have stopped paying for the phone. Good thing that I did this test. I'm going to ask them to see how come they stopped paying for that phone number because I still use it. Pay for Mac phone number. I'm going to check in with Emma because I can't give these examples if I don't have an active phone line. Okay. Good. Any other questions that you've written there? No. Okay. Okay, so that's the reason this says devices and you see my phone is because I am connected right now to my phone by cable, and that's how I'm using this. But this is important because those of you who don't have your photos on the cloud, which is quite a few of you guys, guys, I'm down to seeing only Molly, Mary Ellen, and Vera. So if you guys are at home and you don't have any sound, any people walking behind you, it's so much better for my brain when I get to see you guys. When I have to teach literally to a bunch of black boxes, it's really hard for my brain to function as a teacher. So if it's okay with what's happening behind you and yourself, I do request that you please turn on your video. Now, if you want to be able to get up and go to the bathroom and back, that's fine, turn it off. But when, like right now, I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like 10 black boxes and three faces, it's just harder for me because I'm not relating to people. Does that, I hope that hopefully that makes sense. Now,
Yeah,
if it's
sure.
uncomfortable for any reason, please leave them off. I totally get that. But thank you for those of you who just turn on your videos. It really helps me, it helps me function as a teacher much better.
Sure.
Okay, so I connected my phone with a cable to my computer. At that point, I see my device pop in. And for people who need to bring in their photos by hand because they do not have the iCloud set up, this is what you need to do. You need to connect it by cable, and then it'll show you anything that needs to be imported and you will select it. Now, I don't have any that are imported, so I need to go and take a couple of pictures to show you this, but I need to be reminded. Give me a yes if your photos are going to the cloud and then down to your computer, or give me a no if your photos are disconnected. Like I think I know Thomas doesn't have them connected. Who else? There was 2 or 3 people who did not have them. So give me a no if your phone is not connected.
Yes, yes, yes.
I believe Harry, your stuff was in the cloud, Harry. I didn't know that. Okay, so maybe it wasn't so many people in this class. Okay. So then Thomas, and you know how to do this one of transferring photos, Thomas? Yeah, so if you're the only one, then I won't bother explaining it. Bob Burton is, how about yours? Are yours in the cloud? I'm going to wait for Bob's answer, but I'm not going to wait. I'm going to continue. But Bob, if your photos go to the cloud and down, just give me a yes. If they don't, give me a no. Anyway, so this is the process, that how you would transfer. Okay, that's a yes. Okay, so then it's only Thomas, and Thomas says that he knows how it works. So I'm not going to bother because this would be the plan B system, but he knows how it works. Okay, So now let's keep going down with the other stuff that's automatically there on our computer. And over here, this didn't exist for a long time. This used to exist. Who remembers who was already using their iPhone and stuff for photos in the times of the iPhotos app? And by now I'm talking 10 years. I don't know how, I think it was 2012,
2020.
2012. It was a long, many years ago. In the iPhotos app, there is a feature called events, and everything was stored by days. So if things happen on a certain day, you could click on them, they'd all be together. Now, if you go to my library right now, I have a lot of stuff following each other, but this might be one day, that might be another day, this might be another day. They're all showing together. Now, this is new, recycled from many, many years ago, where you go by days, and I can see everything I took on May 27th. Now, this is these days that don't have a year, it's because they are this year. So if I go over to May 27th and I double click, oh, it turns out that there's 6 photos under May 27th. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If I go to May 8th, oh, there's a bunch of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's a bunch of photos of this is Porto in Portugal of May 8th. So over here, you can see the photos taken on that one day. Now here, I double click on April 28th, and there it is, 6 photos of April 28th. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
On the other hand, if I go to this one here, oh, I have like whatever, 15, 11 photos of that day. All right. And I'm sure this is only a day that I only have one. Oh no, I have a few more of that day. This one is only one. Oh no, I have a few of that day. See, I didn't even know. I'm trying to find a photo that's only a one-off, but anyway, so oh, okay. That's why, because the one-offs aren't showing. Oh, how interesting. I was like, how come there's no one-offs? Because the one-offs aren't showing. Only items that have multiple photos inside of them are showing up here. The individual days are left for you to find them under the library. Because I know I have individual photos, and they're not showing here. So the only ones that you see under days are when you have multiple photos. So here's May 30th. And these are all photos of Barcelona, and I took them all the same day, so then they're showing up right there. Now, if I were to go to Barcelona in the library in May 16th and go find those photos, I would see them as well, and they're down here-ish. Here they are, but see how they're not divided by day. All of these are from Barcelona, and they're all just kind of there, okay? But they weren't there. The ones that are single photos don't show up under the days feature. Okay, has everyone been able to make that one work?
Yes.
All right, and if I do that in my phone, then right under where I have the photos, big photos library, then over there I have with the recent days, and I start with recent days. And this is the one that I just downloaded. Look at that. And then here's my June 11th, June 9th. So we're back. Here's June 11th, June 9th, June 1st. Okay. And those are my days. So if I were to go to May 31 in my phone, then here we go. These are all the May 31 photos. Again, gorgeous Barcelona and Gaudi's incredible mosaics. They're all collected under May 31st. Okay, so I'm seeing only one yes from Unhee. Anyone else who has was able to use the date feature? It makes sense. It's only when you have multiple photos and it goes day by day. And once you leave the year over here, then it has December 23, 2022. Okay, 2023. But if it only says April 8th, then that's because it's this year, April 8th. Okay. So the last one I had taken, and it was May 2024, and then I jumped to April because this is a album that I now and then put photos in. So there's a big skip. Okay, so I'm seeing lots of yeses, so that's what the days is all about. Now, those of you who asked me about artificial intelligence, this isn't the same as artificial intelligence. This is Oh, Bob, camera was on when I tuned into class. Oh, I see what you're saying. That's fine. If you can't turn it on, then that's fine. Don't worry. I was told, was it 2 days ago? I was in another class last week that some people, when they turn the camera off, then you couldn't turn it on again. And I don't know why that happened. That seems to be what's happening to you, Bob, but that's okay. Okay. So, oh, wow, why am I'm having oh, something got in there. So this thing called collections over here didn't exist before. And I was going to stop my share for a minute. And I want to show, for those of you who have the older version, how it looks. It looks a little bit different, not horribly different, but what I'm sharing right now to you guys, this is the Monterey version of photos. And again, most of it should be very familiar to you.
Yes.
Over here, we had years and months, and then we had days right there.
Yeah.
See that? So days existed, but you had to see them in this big thing. And I understand why days makes much more sense over the side, because you can see many at a time versus this is kind of, so now you only see years, months, and then it goes into photos. Okay. So that days there has now been put here on the left under the collections. Okay. So just wanted to show you that. And then other than that, on the left side under the word photos, there's a lot of things here. Memories shared with you, people, places, favorites, recents, all of that is what now in the new version we're seeing under a thing called collections. Okay. And so that's just a little bit different. And then we have a folder called utilities where we're going to see media types versus before it was all under albums. So the stuff hasn't changed per se. The one that's different is the saved, recently saved. That one, for example, didn't exist. But other than that, it's relatively similar, except for that you're going to have to find up and down there the things that now I'm talking about. Now, right now I'm going to talk about people and pets. And in Monterey, it was only called people. They couldn't do pets. Then there's something in the new one called trips that wasn't here, didn't exist. Then there's something called featured photos, and the features photos here didn't exist. Okay. So there's things that are new, but for the most part, the only big difference is that in the new version, you can find duplicates and delete, but in Monterey, you couldn't find duplicates. That's the only big missing, that in the old version, you couldn't do an automatic duplicates feature, but you can in the new one. Okay. So I'm going to stop sharing for now, but just for those of you who have the old version, it's mainly what's there is on the left, was on the left, was on the right, but most of the stuff is there. But there are some new features and some new capabilities. And the search is much more intelligent and it can find things that you couldn't find before, things like that. Now you can type and ask for things, and that is artificial intelligence. And we're going to be talking about what features it has, like how you can find things. But other than that, just a new organization of where things are. Okay. So here's where I was saying there's this word called collections, which in the old one, it didn't exist. And that's where the days is now instead of here, years, months, and photos. Okay. Now, next we come to people and pets. I'm gonna spend some time with this one on a different day. I did notice that, hold on, let me sit for a second. I need to look at this. Before I start, people and pets is going to take its own time. So I don't necessarily want to do it right now because we're about to go on a break. I'm going to come back to it. But let me go back. Let me go to a couple of new ones. So if I go to featured photos, for example, featured photos, by whom and how come featured? Like, who makes this be featured? And it's not you choosing this one. It's the computer choosing this one, and it chose 32 photos. It's not the ones that I put under my favorites. Some of them might be an overlap, but it's not. It's featured photos that the computer decides that are like photos that it considers. And when you turn on your phone and you see like a featured photo at the entrance of your phone, like, when you open your phone, sometimes it says featured photo of the day. It's photos that the computer goes into your phone and puts on a phone photo for you. And you go, oh, remember that? Or why is this thing showing me that? It's this thing. It's a feature that is just showing you photos that it thinks maybe you've clicked on it more than normal, or maybe it's a photo that it considers, oh, look, Molly, here you are. This is a photo from 2016, by the way. See, Molly, who class, she was in one of my classes in 2016 when we were there in person. Look at that. That's room 3. It's considered a featured photo. So that is something that you don't really have a control over. You could, I believe, remove it from featured photos. You could right click and say remove from featured photos, or you could say feature this person less if you don't want to be featured. Maybe since it's automatic, you're not choosing that this person be shown. And so see, yeah, there's a photo of Santi, there's another photo of Santi. What if I'm tired of seeing Santi? I could say feature this photo less, and then it would show them only now and then. But this is an example of not me choosing them, but the computer choosing them for you. Now, can you choose any photo and make it a featured photo? If I right click, no, I can't make that a featured. There's no place it says over there, make a featured photo. There should be a way, and I think they said they were going to put that in a way, but right now it's not. Right now, featured photos is out of your control. Other than you can take them away. If you go, why is this one here? I look horrible. Yeah, you can remove that photo from featured photos. Guess what? If you remove featured photos, it doesn't remove the photo. It just removes it from the featured photos, but it still will be in your computer, okay? It's just that it's an album that was collected for you. You'll discover that trips and memories are a bit like that too. They're collected for you, okay? So all you can do is tell it, no, not that, or no, not that, but you don't necessarily add them yourself. You don't make your own memory. The computer makes these memories. You don't make these trips. It figures out you were on a trip. You can take photos out and you can tell which one you liked the most. But other than that, they're made to you by the computer. So really quickly, if I go to trips, turns out that the computer can tell because of the metadata, because of the dates, that this is a trip. And see how it looks like I have a trip in 2025 and 2024, 2023, 2021. So if I go to 2025, it figured out Spain, and because of the metadata of the photo, it figures out that between April and June, there's photos of Spain. So if I double click on that one, turns out that I have 308 photos. And guess what? It's right. These are all photos of one trip. But what if I had been in Spain and had gone to, in the middle of it, had a business meeting, and I have, photos of that business meeting? Well, they'd still be here. Computer wouldn't know any different. You know what I mean? I'd be here, oh, these are all my trip photos. And oh, suddenly I'll have 5 pictures of like, a webinar that I was attending, and I have the screenshots on the screen. Well, that would have happened in Spain too. So then I could right click and say, no, 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 that doesn't belong in here. Does that make sense? But other than that, it doesn't know. It just figured out because of dates and location that it must be a trip. So if I go to 2021, it's thinking, and this is trips, remember, it's thinking that I was in Manhattan and Long Island in September. And is it right? Yeah, it's right. I was there. And these are photos of that trip. But on the other hand, these are photos of Santa Barbara, and this isn't a trip. And if I double click, these are just all photos of Santa Barbara. And yeah, why can't Santa Barbara be a trip, a destination? It could be. And it is counting all of these photos as a trip, but actually these are photos of my life and my home and my kids, right? So this is a mistake. This is not a trip. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But I didn't make this. And then this in here is that fire that we had, I guess, in May 2021. And these are photos I took of that fire. At the same time, when this was happening, I guess my son was on a backpacking trip, and he sent this picture of himself on the backpacking trip. It happened to have been taken at the same time. And I guess he's in Santa Barbara. Has nothing to do with the fires. See that? And yet it's part of that. And these are photos of that fire. This is, TV Hill, that fire. And this is from my driveway and I was taking photos. So again, it's set up as a trip, but it wasn't a trip. So again, it's artificial intelligence doing its best, but not necessarily doing it correctly. There's a lot of trips that are word trips. I did go to Berkeley. It wasn't a trip. I went to Berkeley to go to the college and visit the college with my son, but it's considered a trip. And then the New Mexico trip, it was a trip. Yeah, that was a trip. Okay. So that's what it does. It collects things that it thinks are trips and it puts it under trips. And when it's right, it's right. When it's not, it's not. Now, if I try to correct it by telling him that this was not a trip, when I right click on it, I can't tell it that this is a trip or not a trip. It's just there. It's still a trip. And when I open it, it's still a trip. So there's no way to clean that up. Does that make sense? It's just there. Now, in the past, we couldn't clean up our memories when it first came out. Now we can clean up our memories. Trips we can't clean up. Features photos, we can tell it to not add, but we can't add. So I think they're slowly working on these and slowly they'll probably come to trips and fix it so that we can delete it. Right now, it just assumes it's a trip and there's nothing I can do. Memories, on the other hand, again, has been there for many, many months. It's still many years. It's already in the version that Molly has. In the old version, they already had memories. And so memories, they have a way to make one yourself, and they have the automatic ones. And then you could say, no, I don't want to delete the memory or add more to the memory or take away. So I can go to this trip, for example, and I can look at all the photos that the memory is having, and I can say, oh, this one is horrible. Now, notice that it's playing music. Memories is not just the photos. Features photos is one thing. Trips is just the photos, but in memories, it's creating a little slideshow with music. And I didn't create this. It's the computer created this for me. Okay. And this is just photos from that day. I can scroll faster, or I could not see it in this mode. I can just click on this icon and I get to see just the photos. So this is similar to trips now that I'm seeing the photos, but it's still making a little bit of sound. Okay. I'm gonna back out. Back out by clicking on that arrow or by hitting the escape key. The escape and escape key leaves that memory. Okay. Now, before they were not editable. Now, as I said, I can make it a favorite memory. I say, oh, I love that one. I'm going to make it a favorite. In which case, I'll find it here under favorite memories. Or I can go, no, that wasn't a favorite memory. I took the heart off. It's not under favorite memories. And then created means that you've created your own. And this is very new. Very new. This didn't exist up until this version, 2025 Sequoia, where you can create your own. And this is artificial intelligence. See this little circle with many colors? I can describe a memory and it'll go in there and try to find photos. So create a movie with just a description. So say that I want photos of, I can click in here and I can write, I double clicked in there and say that I write, maybe I'll write the name of one of my kids. Let's see if it makes a memory with photos of Joaquin. Since I have figured out in the past photos of, this is artificial memory at work, right? The computer is looking in there, it's searching all my photos, finding wherever Joaquin is, going through all my people over the years. It's going around and around, and it's choosing and choosing and choosing. And when it's done, it'll hopefully, there it is, give me a memory.
Wow.
And there it is. Yep, that's him, little guy.
Wow.
That little guy. It just picked up photos from my entire photo
God.
where Joaquin was described. And there he is, there he is, there he is,
Oh.
there he is, there he is. Okay. So, and if I go down here, these are the photos that it chose. I have many more photos of Joaquin, but these are the ones that it chose to throw in here. And now if I go, I don't really like this one, I can like right click and say, not this one. Or I can add another one. Hey, you missed this one. I can go plus and I go find another one that I think should belong. So this is me creating a memory. I didn't put the music on it. Can you change the music? We're going to talk about that. But right now, I have added a creating a memory that didn't exist before. So now under created memories, I have this one. Okay. And all I did was gave it its name. Now, how did the computer know its name? Is because I have used the people and pets, and I have told the computer to search for photos of Joaquin. So we're going to explore that later. But right now, I wanted to show you that memories has advanced a lot. It used to be like this. It just gave you stuff and you had to deal with it. Or like this. So memories now, you can make favorites. You can delete the ones that it makes that you don't like, or you can create your own. Okay.
Amazing.
See some hands up. I do want to honor that it's break time, but I'm not in a hurry to go, but I don't want to go too much further because I want to make sure that if people need to use the restroom or whatever, they can go. But let me see what the questions are, and I'll tell you whether I'll answer it before or after the break. So Yolanda, what's your question?
Okay, you mentioned something about where when you turn it, when you open your photos, it will play music, and how do I don't do that, and it will just keep
The
on
memories.
playing. How do I turn it off?
Yeah, just the memories. When you're in a memory, you can't, I don't think that you can turn it off. When I open a memory, it starts playing music. You can change the music though. But maybe you can turn the volume down. Yeah, you can. Let me share again really quickly. Um,
Because
so
I
watch. So
photos.
if I go and watch this memory, down here on the left side, see how it's choosing, and this is a memory that has some music, right? So
Oh,
left side, if I hover over here, there's a little music symbol. I can click on that
oh,
and I can choose a different music that these are all musics that are Apple has or whatever. And I can choose this one instead, or it's music that your computer has. And here it says Apple Music suggestions. Okay, I'm gonna set this one. I don't know what this music is. And it's taken me into the Apple app and it's telling me that I need to buy their music, which I'm not going to in this school account, right? So Apple Music is an app, Apple Music, and you need to pay for it. So that's not going to work. Soundtracks, these are music that are available to me. And I can use that one or these right here, which are musics that kind of came with
We only see the picture. We don't see that text that you're describing.
Oh, okay. So let me turn the sound off. It's driving me crazy. 1 second. And let me share my entire screen. So when I shared my entire screen, aren't you seeing this music?
No, we weren't seeing that.
Okay. So down here on the left side of my screen, I have a little music icon, but it's not there if I don't point to it. Otherwise, it's not there at all. I need to point to that area. Okay. And then I click on that little icon. And then these are choices that's given me for music. Okay. So I can change it. And then I can say okay to that, or I can click on this one, click on that one. When I say okay, then that's a music that goes with it. I can stop it, send it back to the beginning, or I can click on this little guy, which is like I can change the look. And I'm not even going to go in there right now. We're going to first talk about photo editing and then we can go in there, but I can give a photo more contrast. This is all automatic. I didn't choose any of these photos. I didn't choose how to show it. It's the computer is doing this for me. Okay. I can pause it right here. I can go over here and see all the photos that the computer chose to include in there. And I can add more. That's new or take away. That's it. That's the only control I have over it. Or I can just tell it, I don't want it. I don't like it at all. So I could go over here and I think that was the one, Berkeley. I think I have it under favorites. No, here it was, Berkeley. I think that was the one it was playing. I can call it a favorite by giving it a heart and then it'll be a favorite. But other than that, I can just delete the entire memory, like completely delete the entire memory. But other than that, now these are the memories that are gonna, so this one was called Lasting Memories. I called it Joaquin. I'm gonna edit the title and I'm gonna tell it Joaquin Memories, for example. Whatever. I'm gonna rename it. So Joaquin memories over the years, or I could just call it Joaquin over the years. So that's one that I didn't really create. Artificial intelligence created, but based on my prompt. Okay. So this is something that just needs to be played with. I would say that as homework, I want everyone to create a new memory by double clicking over here and describing a memory. Now you can't put a name like I did if you haven't like named your people, so that won't work. But you might be able to describe a memory like sailing. I don't know. I'm not very good at describing, but photos of sailing or something like that. And I hit return and it's going to go in and search. And I don't know. I have some photos that are of sailing, so maybe it'll find a good one. But see, that's not sailing, but it found a photo that has sailboats. This one is sailing, and it found enough to make me a sailing photo set. Okay. I'm gonna go and see all the photos it chose, and yeah, the only one it chose that wasn't effectively sailing is this one, but it makes sense because it was in the, I'm gonna stop it. It makes sense only because, you know, come on, I'm in a harbor full of sailboats. So anyway, so now when I back out, I've got a second memory created. I've got my Joaquin memories and I have this one called 2008-2025, which is weird. I'm gonna edit that title and call it sailing. And why is it not? Let me edit the title. There it is. I'm gonna call this one sailing. Anyway, rename. So now I've created a second memory. Okay. Before you just had to have it pick up whatever it wanted. Now you can kind of direct which ones to create. Before you have questions about this, I want you to know that I want you to just try it, create a memory, and then you might have more questions, and then we'll deal with the questions next week. Okay?
I don't
Yes.
have that box, Deanna. Create a memory box is not there. How do I get it?
Well, you need to upgrade your system. So if you go to the system settings,
Right, it's on Sequoia already.
and if you're in the latest macOS Sequoia 15.5, then you should have it. If you don't, then you have an older version of Sequoia, or you have Sonoma, or you have Ventura.
Okay, I'll look. Thank you.
No, it's a great question. You guys have to be, because this wasn't there when I was teaching this in spring, and I was already in Sequoia, but it was like 15.2 or 15.3. I don't know what I was in Sequoia. And now I'm at 15.5, which is the latest version, and this creative memory just appeared. So it's very new and it's using artificial intelligence. And those are the kind of things that are happening. A lot of artificial intelligence features are going to be added to a lot of different programs, and only the latest update will have them. Okay. Great question. Thanks for asking, Vera. If you don't have it, you don't have it. Either upgrade your operating system or just don't do a memory. Modify. You could already modify the existing memories that you could do in Sequoia. You've been able to do that for the last year, that you'd go to memory that was made for you and you don't want a photo in, you can take it away and stuff like that.
What
Yeah.
about what about the Monterey? Could I upgrade it to Sequoia?
If your computer can handle it, yes, but I don't know if your computer can handle it. I think we talked about that earlier, that your computer needs to be older or not. That's what I deal with in the Mac classes. If you
Oh,
want to
okay.
tell me a bit about that at the end of class, where I can stay a little bit longer, I can check in your computer and see what operating system you have and stuff like that. But right now,
Okay.
a lot of people who are stuck in Monterey, it's because their computer can't upgrade past Monterey,
Yeah.
which is what's happening to my old computer that I shared with you before. All right, Diane.
My, when I click on the memory button, it says creation unavailable. More photos and videos need to
Oh,
process to create a memory.
Yeah. So those of you who don't have enough photos, the computer doesn't have enough to work with. So like for a while when I used to do people, I didn't have enough photos, so I couldn't make it work. So I had to add a lot more photos. At this point, I have, how many did I say? 1,700 photos, and it's able to operate. Now I have 1,200 photos, but you must have less than that. How many photos do you have in yours?
I don't know. Without
Well,
looking.
click
oh my
on,
God.
let me just show you how to learn. Click on library and then on all photos. And then down here, you'll see how many
I
photos.
have 4,546.
Okay, so then it should be enough because mine has enough.
Hmm.
But 4,000 photos for a Photos app isn't much. Most people are more in the high thousands or, the tens of thousands. So the people also was having issues functioning without too many photos. Memories, maybe you don't have enough of a variety, I guess, of different type of things for it to find something. I don't know. I'm going to go online and see what it says. But are you on the cloud, like your photos that you take in your phone, go to the cloud and go to your computer? Or do you have
Yeah.
more photos on your phone?
Yes.
Okay. So certain features, they need to search and have enough stuff. You know how when I was creating it, it was doing like this thing and taking? It needs to have enough variety of something to take it. So like if you created people's where it has names and you have say 20 photos of a certain person, that would be enough for it to then create a memory of that person, right? But if you only have a few things of each thing, it just doesn't have enough to bring together and make something. You know what I mean?
Okay. Thank you.
So yeah, the more photos, the better it operates because the more it has to feed itself from. All right.
Thank you.
Great questions, all of you guys. So I was able to answer them all. Let's take a break. We're going to deal with the people. We're going to definitely deal with the people folder, Harry. And I didn't change it to people and pets. That's the latest version. It's not the latest version. Sequoia point 3 already had people and pets. But the Sequoia at the beginning, Ventura, Sonoma, they don't have people and pets. They only have people. So you need to upgrade it if you want to have the feature people and pets. It's not that it's a name. It's not a name. It's that before, when it first started, it could only recognize people. Now it also can recognize pets. And so it's called people and pets, but the program can recognize it. It's not me changing it. Okay. I'm answering a question asked in the chat. All right. So let's be back in 15 minutes, which is when? It's 3:26. Can somebody figure it out? 2026, 3:36, 3:41. And let me add one more, 42 p.m. Is that correct before I let us go? Is that about 15 minutes? Someone check me. Okay, don't forget to put in a timer on Siri and tell it to remind you in 12 minutes so that you don't come back late. Okay, I'm gonna do that. Hey Siri, set reminder for 12 minutes. All right, see you guys in 12 minutes. All right, is everyone back? Come on back, come on back. Let's either turn on your videos if that's what you do, or give me a yes if you're there. Actually, let me first clean your yeses from before. All right, so give me a yes if you're around, but don't turn on your videos, and then turn on your videos if you do and you can. And here we go. Okay. All right, so when I checked my email during the break, I had a question from Harry that you emailed me for some reason. That was a bit more of a clarification of your question about syncing the photos from your album. And now I understand what you're asking, and that is in the system settings. So let me share my computer for a second, and let's head over to the system settings. And it was in the iCloud. Harry, are you back, by the way? Give me a yes if you're back, because this is an answer to your question. Okay, you're there. Okay. So in the iCloud, if you go into the iCloud area, so this is the system settings, okay? I click on the top where I go to the iCloud, then I go back to the iCloud, and then here under photos, this is where Sync This Mac would be found if you want your photos cloud from the cloud to come down into your computer. Okay. So I'm not sure, but I seem to think that that's what you asked on the email. Let me check again the email. From Harry, I believe that was your question. To me, wait, here question. Turn on sync this phone feature in iPhone settings to enable photo syncing across devices. Where's the location of the above? So there to go. That's where it was. Yeah, that was your question. And yeah. So did that work? Did that help? So once again, you go into the cloud wherever your name is on your computer. Then you click follow through with the cloud and then click on photos. And that's where this would be needed to be turned on. Okay. And then in the chat now, you seem to have written, someone said how to add people folder from the photos. Do you rename it? Oh, so I had asked that. Oh, and then you said photos creates albums of people and pets found in your library when you're not using the app. Yeah, so we're going to talk about the people and pets now. So I hadn't yet addressed the whole people and pets thing. Let me first show you in the phone how to find the same things that I was just showing you here. So here I was showing you trips and featured photos and memories. Where's that in the phone? So if you go to the Photos app and you start scrolling down, it has peoples and pets right there. It had albums. The albums are albums that we make, so those are not there yet. And we haven't talked about those yet. Then it has pinned collections, which is favorites, recently saved, remember, maps, videos, screenshots. So these are things that we can pin different ones, but those are you can modify what's in here. But I'm leaving it the way it comes on this phone because it's the stuff that the phone put there. And that's how I need to teach with the default settings, but you can modify and you prefer something else to be here. And then here's the memories. So if I go to my memories and I start, there it is. Oh, here are the two that I just made. Look at that. The saline one I just made and the Joaquin memories I just made on my computer. They've appeared on my phone now. And then as I keep going sideways, these are all memories that were being made for me. And if I go into one of them, so say that I go to the saline one and I click on it, then I can play it and it begins to play. And here's where I choose the music if I prefer to have a different music. Right. So now to go back. it's showing me memories of my sailing, mode, which is the one that I just made on my computer. Okay. Now, notice that it can't show me the whole photo because these are sideways photos sometimes. It does the best. Now, if I don't want to see the movie, but I want to see just the photos itself, then I can go over here and so I need to pause the movie first. And then I can go to the photos, and here it's showing me the individual photos that go into the movie. Down here, I can click on any one that I want if I don't want the whole movie to play. Okay. And then I back out. And then if I go even further down, here's the trips. These are the trips that it guessed at, and it guessed at, remember, some correctly and some not, because remember, this one was not a trip, but there they are. And then here's the featured photos, which again, it's featured photos according to the computer and not necessarily because I think it's a featured photo. So if I didn't want one of these to be here, if I tried it now to right click and oh, here it allows me to remove from featured photo. Oh, it did in the other one too. It removes me to allowed for featured photos, but it doesn't allow me to add, although it says add to the album. So I wonder if it's considered featured photos. I wonder if it's considered an album. It's interesting. When I go to any old photo, can I choose this photo? Say that red one. And I can always add them to an album. I wonder if I could add them to, hello. It's not, oh, because I'm operating it on the phone. I'm not really operating it on the, I'm operating it on the computer instead of on the phone. If I right click and say add to album, I wonder if it allows me to choose featured photos. No, it only allows me to choose my own photo. So yeah, I still don't think you can add things to featured photos. You can take away if you don't like it. Okay, so that's where you find all this stuff. It's all like there. All the ones that they made for me, all the trips that they made for me, and the memories. And the past, all they made was memories. The other two are new. So again, if your phone doesn't have it yet, if your computer doesn't have it yet because you have an older computer setting, then maybe in your phone you have the latest operating system, and so maybe you could find it in your phone. Okay, so for those of you who asked me, where is it? And I said, your operating system doesn't have it, then go tell me if you found it on your phone. So everyone, check your phone, and if you found memories, that's been there forever. If you found trips and feature memories, that's new. And if on your phone you want to see your favorites memories, you can, and your created ones, you can't. But on the phone, it doesn't say that it can create a new one. Like on the phone, you can't create a new memory right now. You have to just go with what it's giving you. Okay. On the phone is limited to giving you the memories you have. The only place you can create one is in the latest version of Sequoia. All right, so give me a yes if you found the memories and the trips and the featured photos on your phone. And no if you can't find it, if you don't have it. Okay. Yes, Thomas?
Is it, excuse me, is it possible to rename the album title? Because some of them aren't what they think they are.
Yeah, are you talking about memories or things like that?
Memories, yes.
Well, memories, I was able to change it. So over here, remember it said something else. Let me change it again. I'm going to right click and edit title.
Okay.
And so I'm just going to call it Joaquin, and it says over the years, and I can change it over the years and call him Joaquin growing up or something like that.
Okay.
So it's like title.
I
and
missed it the first time, but I just tried to do it and couldn't figure it out.
Well, in the phone you can't. In the phone you can't change
Okay.
the title or anything. So all of this is doable from the computer. So from some of those you wonder, how come you're using the computer when so much of it can be done on the phone? Well, there's a few things that you still can't do on the phone. And every now and then there's something the phone can do, the computer can't do, depending on where they update it first, but then they begin to equalize it. Always the computer can do a smidgen more than the phone can do. Before it did a lot more. Now the phone can do a lot of stuff, and the computer is always doing a bit more, but it's amazing how much the phone can actually do. It's pretty amazing. All right, I'm going to clear your answers. All right, so let me share only these windows so that you don't have to see everything. Here we go. Okay. So now we went to trips and featured photos and memories. And now I said I would tackle the peoples and pets. Okay. So let's head over to the people and pets. Yeah. Someone said something.
Yeah, I'm still lost because I am on the photos of my iPhone,
Yeah.
and I did not see what did you say, memories or something. What
Oh,
I
okay. So you have to scroll down,
scroll
down,
down.
down. And there's memories. And I keep scrolling down. There's trips. Keep scrolling down. There's featured photos.
Oh, I found it. Thank you so much. Sorry, I did not. I was on the pin
As you
collection.
keep going down, you have other stuff, shared.
Thank you. Yeah.
Someone asked me if I was going to cover shared albums. I think it was Carol, but she had to leave early. Someone else had asked, someone asked me, Mary, no, someone asked me about shared albums. We're going to get to shared albums. Yeah. No, I think it was the other Mary. I don't know. Someone asked. Okay. So here we are with peoples and pets. Now, there's a feature that's new, and it's saying here that I didn't create any yet. It says no groups available. Photos organizes people and pets into groups when enough photos are found. So Diane, was it? Oh, there you are, Diane. How you got a message that you couldn't do, I think, memories or trips or featured photos, one of those, because not enough photos were found. Oh, you couldn't create new memories because not enough photos. Oh, Diane, I'm talking to you, but you're not there. So you know what? I'm going to wait until Diane shows up before I keep saying this. But this is an example of it's telling you it needs enough peoples and pets for me to be able to put them in a group. I haven't tried to create one yet, but I'm gonna to see if I have enough because this is a new feature. Well, it was there already last time I taught this in spring. But peoples and pets is something that I have so many of that I'm not sure that it's easy for me to demo this anymore because I filled it up so much already that I don't have that many more people. So let me explain. Peoples and pets are, you also need a lot of photos for it to work, right? Because it basically is going to take the features of one head, one face. It just measures, I guess, between the eyes and the nose and the mouth. It does some kind of a measurement. And then if you tell, say, 10 photos that this is Jack, then it goes and it searches all your photos and goes, oh, is this Jack? And this is Jack? And is this Jack? And you keep going, yes, yes, no, yes, 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 no, yes, 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 no, until it finds all the photos of Jack. Now, honestly, it doesn't find all the photos. Every now and then there's photos that it missed. For example, in the photo that you're seeing him head front, it's very easy. But if I go to my library and I see a photo of Jack where you see like here, say that one of those there were Jack, it might not be able to find him, even though Jack is in this photo. Does that make sense? Because there's not enough of him to find it. Now, this one is actually Jack. And right now it says unnamed. Another way to train it is for me to name it here. And why is it saying unnamed? And that's because we had turned on, remember we went to the view metadata and we turned all these different things on, and I had the hide face names is hide. If I say hide face names, see how Diana disappeared and unnamed disappeared? Under view, make sure that yours says show face names in case it doesn't. And if it says show face names, then if it recognizes any faces, it names them. Like over here, it recognized me, but it didn't recognize Jack. Now, instead of naming it here, which I could do, I'm going to go ahead and see if perchance I go to the people and pets. If I've already named Jack once, so this is for people who already have a named person, I'm going to double click on Jack. Okay. And then I go here and it's showing me a bunch of photos of Jack. Okay. Now, I know that up until this photo is from last year, and these photos had already been recognized, or I forced them to be recognized. But these photos here, these two are from this last trip, meaning I just uploaded them, and it's already recognized that one and that one as having Jack. In fact, if I click on show more, it might find Jack. Here's another one from this trip. These 3 are photos from this trip where it recognized Jack. But the photo that I was just showing you, that one's also from this trip, and it doesn't seem to have recognized Jack, and that one's Jack, and that one's Jack. So let's go see if I can tell the computer to recognize more. So this is for people who already have them, okay? I'm going to double click on a person that it has, and I'm going to go to the bottom of all the photos that it recognized, and I'm going to say review more photos. It's going to either tell me no more photos to review, because in the other, he has the helmet and the big heavy glasses, and maybe you just can't recognize him, or it might find some more for me to approve or disapprove. So I'm going to click on review more photos. Oh, there you go. It's finally happening. Normally I don't have new photos, so it doesn't do it. It says, is this Jack? Yes or no? And it's like, yeah. And see how I'm able to show a photo that now, because of this one, me saying yes, it might now find more photos with these type of glasses and this helmet and discover that it's Jack. So I'm going to say yes. So then, oh, so then is this Jack? See how it's asking me? And I'll go, yeah. Okay. And it only asked me 2 photos, but it added 12 photos of Jack. Even though you saw me say yes twice. What happens is that it said, is this Jack? And since I say yes to it, then it went and found more like that one and added him. And then it showed me the second one and it found more like that one. So it added 12 photos of Jack. So that's the computer doing its job. I can rarely demo this portion because a lot of the times I've already found all the photos of someone. But since I just added photos, I was able to demo this portion. So now when I look at the photos of Jack, look at that. Pick this one up that we said, oh, it hadn't picked that one up. It picked this one up. It picked that one up. It picked this one up. So these are all from the new trip, and it's picking them all up. So clearly it found photos, and then it found these of him in the pottery studio. So it found more photos of Jack, so 12 more than were there before. If I now try to go review photos again, it'll probably say, there don't appear to be any new photos of Jack. Okay, so I added more. Now, I initially started when I had no photos organized. It just starts by saying, review your photos to start creating people or something like that. So you say add people and so it would start like this. It would say add people. See down here? Mine has so many, but it would say add people. Okay. And so you would click on that add people. And then it's selecting people that it things that I might want to add. So I don't have a name under this person. So it says, do you want to add this person? And I might go, sure, this is someone I want to add, but this never appeared in the past. How funny. But now since now it finds pets. So maybe it's thinking this is a pet. Oh, that's so funny. So, okay. So this, for example, is not Mark Shatillo. So I can make corrections as well, but I'm going to cancel right now. And here we go. These are different people that I've already named. Okay. But what if there's photos of people that I haven't named? If I go to my library, I don't see names in here. If I hit the space bar, now I see Diana, Jack, unnamed, and unnamed. You see that? Now I've just added a bunch of photos of these 2 people. So how do I create that? Well, why don't I name one of these guys and then see if it finds more photos? So this one here is Chris. So I'm going to say this is Chris H. I've created this person as a name. Another place I can name someone in, see this info window? This photo, it recognizes 4 heads. See how the info window is showing me 4 heads? And this one here is that one, and it doesn't have a name. So I'm going to go and name, but I'm going to do it one at a time. I'm going to leave it and just see if I only name him. If I go now back to people, here he appeared, right? So now I'm going to double click on this person and I'm going to say review more photos. And it says there doesn't appear to be any additional photos of Chris. And I know that there's more photos of Chris, so it doesn't have enough information yet. So I need to go back to my library and find some more of Chris. And this is also Chris. Hit spacebar, that's Chris. So I'm going to name Chris. I'm going to name Chris a few times, but this is the good stuff. Once he's been named, okay, watch. Once he's been named as a people, so here we go. As a people and pets, he exists with a name, and he exists as Chris H, uppercase, lowercase, big H. It matters how I write it. Oh, looks like I had already named Chris and Laura last time. Oh, how funny. Okay, so this is good. Some of you guys do that. If this is the same person as that, I'm going to put one on top of the other. Merge photos of these two people? Yes, please merge them. That should be recognized as one person. Merge photos. See what I did? I hadn't been aware that I'd already done photos of Chris and Laura, and I had created him again. So now I'm going to go into Chris, and there's two photos of them, and let's go see if with two photos he can find more. I doubt it. No. So I need to name more people. I need to train the computer to recognize Chris. So I'm going to go to this photo, and I'm going to call this guy Chris. So watch, I'm going to start writing C. I just wrote C. And all different people whose name has a C in it are appearing. Looks like I have a Selena, a Chris, which is this guy, a Chris without a H, and then I have Christina, and then I begin to have names that have a C in their name. Grace, Jack, Cruz, okay? So I'm going to say it's this person, Chris. So now that's one more person added to the list. So now I'm going to go and find another photo of Chris. And do I have another photo of Chris? This is also Chris. See, it says unnamed, so I'm going to click in there. Now, what happens if instead of writing and choosing this guy, what if instead I click on this and I write Chris in uppercase, and then I write H. I have created a new person. Chris H, I didn't tell it was the same as before. If I go to people, see, I've created a Chris H. So if you name them differently, you end up having, every time you see a Chris, you name it Chris. If you the second time you write it, you write Christopher. The third time you give him a name, a last name, it thinks it's different people. So instead of doing that, make sure, I'm going to put them together again. I merged the two photos. Now it's back to being Chris. So the important thing is that when you see people and you name them with the existing name. So this, there's no way. According to the computer, these are the only two people it sees. See how it finds two heads here only? I see four people, but these are too small for the computer to recognize. This is what I'm saying. The people in pets catches most photos, but it doesn't catch them this tiny. Now I can fake it. I can give it a little plus sign, and I can bring this one over, and I can take it over here, and I can drag it to his little head, and I can say, this is Chris, and I select Chris. But the computer, for them, it was too small. I'm going to put another little plus sign. I'm going to move it over here, but I need to make it really tiny by clicking on this little arrow, this circle there. Make sure it only catches the face. If I catch too much of it, it's going to start looking for faces of Chris that also have like a bicycle piece to it. So this one, I'm going to start writing Laura, and there she comes. I'm going to click on Laura. So now this photo has them named. So maybe they recognize more photos of Chris and Laura when they're afar. So you have to do this to, I would say at least, I don't know, in my experience, at least 10 photos of these, and he shows up in quite a few of the photos because we just traveled with them. And then after I do that to at least 10 photos, then if I go back to people's and pets, like I did with Jack, it might be possible to keep saying review more photos, and it might find a few more. But since I only have a total of maybe 6 pictures of him, that's not enough to train it. And that's why this feature depends on more photos of people. Does that make sense? Since I have more photos of Jack, it had enough people that it was able to find more. but the total amount of photos that I have of Chris is probably 5 or 6. So it wasn't able to find anymore. Same with Laura. If I tell it to review more photos, even though I have like 3 more photos of Laura, it's not enough for the computer to recognize. And so you basically can only do this. You can name them by hand all you want, but for the computer to be able to go in and search your whole library and pick up, 200 photos of someone, it needs to have many photos of that person. Now, the interesting thing is that it recognizes the people when they're little or when they're big. Like I have photos of Joaquin that size and this size, and it still recognizes that this is the same person. It's really amazing how well it can recognize. Every now and then there's some photos when it asks me if it's one or another of my kids, but for the most part, it really recognizes them no matter. So it's pretty magical, but to be able to demonstrate it better, I need to have it. I was able to demonstrate it with Jack, which many times I can't demonstrate it with anyone. But if you want me to demonstrate it finding more people, I would need to do that with someone who has not used this system and doesn't have many people and pets, and then I can show you more one more time. Hi, Carol. I answered a question that you had asked, and then I looked up and noticed that you weren't there, so now I need to figure out what it might be, but I'll figure it out. But maybe you can remember a question that you had asked. So does anyone else want to share their screen so I can demo, like someone who doesn't have many people saved, and I can demo the feature on their computer? Vera, okay, go ahead and share your screen. Okay, so here we go. Let's go ahead and click on people. And in her case, it says people only. So it's not people and pets. So it's an older version. Okay. And this is a people and pets where it's not labeled. See how there's no names under these people? So this is just the computer recognizing some people that it thinks it's got enough of to see a few times. So Vera, is there anyone here that you have many photos of that you want to start with? Let's start with the individual people. It's a bit easier. Vera, are you talking to me? Are you muted? Yeah, you're muted. So go ahead and unmute yourself so that we can communicate. There we go. You're muting yourself. Nope, you're not unmuting yourself yet. Do you want me to can you stop the share to unmute yourself, and then you can hear? Let me stop your share so you can unmute yourself, and then you can share again. Yeah, because it's hard when you're sharing to figure out where those tools are. There we go. I can hear you now. All right, so now share again.
Hey, where did it go?
Okay. Now go down to your there it is, photos. Yeah. Okay. So now, can you go to one of these faces, the individuals, not the groups? Can you go to the one of the faces and give me, okay, so you have a lot of photos of that face in your album?
Yes.
Okay, so go ahead and double click on it. Okay, so first of all,
But
what?
would it just land in my albums, or I have to drag it there?
No. It'll show under people. So first of all, you need to add the name. Who's this person? So go over here and click on over here and add a name.
Okay.
Click on add a name. And if this person has whatever way you spelled it has to be, can you back out? Can you cancel for a second? I'm gonna show something. This kid, probably you don't have a contact in your contacts for. Go ahead and click add a name again and then go a little bit slower so I can demo things to people. If this were an adult and that you happen to have in your album and your contacts, these are possible contacts, okay? So say that this was someone that you don't say okay, but give it the name of someone, start writing the name of someone you know you have in your contact book. So start adding the name of someone that you have in your contact book, even though it's not the right name. We're not going to say okay to it. But you went too fast. Back up, back up. Back up, back up, back up. It was working and then keep backing up. Go back to the D, back up to the D, all the way to the D. Okay. So when you write D, it starts putting up a bunch of names that come from your album. See that? Then type that D-O. Now it's anything that's D-O, D-O, D-O. If at that point you found that person, you'll click on the person. Don't click on him right now because I don't want this kid to become that person. But if this is in your album and your contacts and you click on that, then it relates it directly to who that person is. Does that make sense? Now, this is a baby that doesn't yet have a contact. So go ahead and keep writing his actual name so you can go back and correct. I just wanted to show you how when you start writing something, so now if this is Damon, if you want to give him a last name too, go for it. And then click next. And now the name is added. This person is now named, and I can't really read what you named him. It's okay. It's not, it's a bit off for everybody, but go ahead and say done. Cool. And now let's start scrolling down.
Which way you mean?
So
Downwards?
that we can
Here.
start there and see how it's beginning to find people. Are these all him or not him?
Yes.
Okay, amazing, guys. The photo that the sample he showed, he was much littler and he's already figuring out that this is that same kid. Now, if you're not sure if that's the same kid or someone isn't, you could right click and say, this is not that person, remove this one, right? Maybe it got a sibling or some other kid. But now keep going down, and look at all the photos it found. It's just taking from all your library and went in and found all these photos. Keep going down. Keep scrolling, keep scrolling. And then when it's done scrolling and you go all the way to the bottom, and it's just creating it right now, then at the very, very bottom, you'll see the whole, see how he has different ages? He's a baby, he's a big guy, he's a middle, well, not a huge guy yet, but, and then if you scroll a little bit, oh my God, is this that baby? Or
Yes.
another one. Oh my God, it even figured out when it was this size. It's incredible. Is that the same baby?
Kind of creepy.
It's creepy. Okay, so now head down a little bit lower.
I'm at the bottom. It'll go down more.
There's more, yeah. Keep going down. Okay, and there you could say review more photos. And at this point, it might have some more that it's questioning. And no, it didn't. It seems pretty sure that this is everything that's there. So the next time you add photos of this kid, you might be able to see. Or you might have found some photos where you basically see the back of his head and a bit of his ear. It won't know. So you might want to name that one. But for the most part, do you really need to name that one? If you're looking at photos of this kid, you wouldn't really care about seeing only the back of his head. So this kind of does it. So now go ahead and say done.
Where? Oh, here. Okay.
Over here.
Keep losing my mouse.
Yeah, okay, done. Okay. And now you can back out in this arrow right there. Just the arrow to back out. No, you click him on his name again. Go ahead and cancel. We didn't want to change his name. Go ahead and cancel. Here. Cancel is over here. Yeah. Okay, and now go back up to this arrow to back out. Yeah. Good. And now you'll be back in people. And now this kid has a name. You see over here, it has a name. Now you can do that again, one by one to all these people, and that's how you begin to build your groups. Now, over here, it says it found a group where this kid was in, and it said Damien or Darren, I can't tell, and 3 others, because it doesn't have the other words named yet. Once you name these people, it'll say Damien or Darren or Damien, I can't really read. Darren and then
There,
the name of these 2 people. Does that make sense? So go ahead and
yes,
do it with one more person so we can do it.
okay,
Go ahead and select
so
more,
double click on her,
double
add
click,
name,
add name. And if she shows up here, then don't write the name, choose the person. And if you have them twice in your contact book like that one, it appeared twice. Okay, now say done. Good. Now it's Jill. And automatically, if you start pulling down, 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 you'll see that it found a ton of photos of Jill. Now, in many of these, the same kid appears, right? So when you go back now in the groups, it'll probably say Darren and Jill and another person, right? In that same group, and so on and so forth.
and
So
so then go back and do the third person.
yeah, so now go ahead and go back to this arrow on the left side. Yep. And now it says Darren, comma, Jill, and one other. See that in the group? Because it's
She
recognizing.
she didn't get a last name, even though I typed it. I don't need to put a last name, really.
Yeah, you don't have to, but you had 2 choices for Jill. One had the last name and the other one didn't. And even if you choose the contact like you did, then over here, it just gives you the first name. Since you didn't have a contact, creating your contact book for him, it put whatever you wrote, which was you put first and last name. But this one, even though you chose Jill plus last name, it then, you know, in mine, it only said Deanna, Jack, Dustin, because it chooses to put only the first name, because it figures if you're naming them as they're important to you, you probably know who their last name is. That makes sense?
Mhm.
So
Yes.
yeah, now if you go name this last person, which I believe that's you, right?
Yes.
Then you can name them here, name you here, and then over here it'll say Darren, Chris, and Vera. Okay. And then it'll keep finding groups where you have all those people in it. So now if you click on this one, right now you still show up as one other, right? But now start scrolling down and let's see what other groups that you're able to find all these people in. And it's all groups of you
How do I get
3.
out of it?
This is awesome. And this is new. Before you'd find tons of groups, but now you're only finding groups of these 3 people, which is pretty cool. But it
Click
also,
on-
if someone else added here, then this wouldn't be here. This is only groups of these 3 people. Does that make sense?
Does I just suddenly got into the slideshow, not meaning to.
Oh, okay. Well, just, yeah, hit the escape or, yeah, to get out of
Okay,
that
if
mode.
I just, if I wanted to name the last individual,
So then you need to go back
on
to
the-
the individual people, not here, not here. You need to be an individual people. So back out.
individual people, I
And
don't have myself in there, so I
yes,
can't name it.
that's you. Wait a
I
minute. This
take the pictures. Yeah,
is
but here's a group.
no, no, no. Here, between Jill and
Here.
Dave.
Oh,
Yeah, that's you.
okay.
I recognize
All
you. Okay, and then give yourself a name. Choose your connect.
Okay.
Choose yourself here. Yeah, and then say
So in
done.
this case, I choose the email, and it doesn't
Fine, but it still
reveal
chooses
it here.
Vera. Still chooses Vera. It's fine. It just knows this. And now you have a ton of pictures of you. So now if you back out, you should see that now it says Darren, Jill, and so here it shows you no matter who you're with, okay? With 1 people, with 10 people, it finds you. But when you back out under groups, it's going to find you in the groups when it's just you 3, the 3 that you had there. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
Now this
Yeah.
is a bit harder for me because I don't have enough people, but I'm going to give it a try and to create some. Okay, so go to this little arrow right there. Yep, that one. And then now
Yeah.
at the top,
There's
now it
rename.
says Damon, Darren, Jill, and Vera. Okay. And then here it used to be two people. Now it's Vera and one other. So now you can find this one other, which I believe is this
Yeah.
face. You can label that person, right? And
It's,
so on
it's,
and so forth. So pretty cool, isn't it? All
yeah,
right.
lots of things
So
to
now,
add.
perfect. Now I'm going to stop your share and let you keep working with that. Anyone else giving it a try? Is it working for you? Give me a yes, give me a no. Now, Carol, you're
I-
writing messages just to me. Well, the last one you wrote to everyone said, how do they figure out from the back and the side view? From the back, they don't, which is why anything that you're in a group, but you're turned backwards, it won't show up as if you're in it. Unless a side view, if enough of the face has been shown and they measure eyes, nose, and mouth. If you have enough of the side where you see enough, then it recognizes it. But if you're completely on the side and you see ear and half a cheek, it won't recognize you either. It needs to see the features that it kind of measures to be able to know it's that same person. And then Carol, you've had the experience of pulling up or putting together a video and the person looked like it, but it was not. Oh, I think you weren't here, but I showed you how when it's not that person, you can remove and say, you can, as much as you train it to look for more, you can also train it to say, oh, no, this isn't that person. Because it asks you, is it this person? And you can say yes, no, yes, no. And then you can pull up and say, nope, this is not that person. And then it will, for any photos that look like that person, it'll take them out. Okay. Um, so if I were to choose a picture and say that that's not the person, then it would find a way to get it wouldn't look for those features anymore, which is also why you should be careful of not of you wouldn't want to delete you don't want to correct it when it is that person. If you make a correction on someone and it turns out to be that person, then in the computer, it'll just know not to find those features and it won't connect those features anymore to that person. So it's kind of, if you say, no, it's not that person, and then it is, then it just won't look for those features anymore. So then you'll miss on a series of photos because you said it wasn't that person. But if on the other hand, you say, yes, this is also, maybe you put in a completely looking different person and you say, this is Chris and this is also Chris, then it's going to get confused because it's going to look for these two sets of features to have them all be Chris. And then you're going to have like a mixture over there, right? So you got to do this, making sure that you get the right people in there. All right, Mary Ellen?
Yeah, I found a pic. I named myself, and it found two pictures of me, and then I asked it to find more, and it said there were no more photos of me.
Well, first of all, does it also say something about finding people? Notice that at the bottom where it says finding people, there's a little note. Let me share my screen. At the bottom of this, where it says finding people, where you can add people, finding people, when you click on this little eye, it says photos creates albums of people and pets found in your library when you are not using the app. So the app has to be open, but you don't need to be using it. Like in the background, it's open and it's working, but you are working on Safari or something. Then it uses, it's kind of cataloging all the features of all the people of all the faces, and then it's able to have more information. Now, I think that's something also that Harry had written in the app, in the chat. He wrote photos create silent of people when you're not using the app. So you need to keep this app open in the background and let it kind of do its work. And it has to have enough photos. So how many photos total do you have, Mary, on your album? In your
More than 5,000.
Okay. 5,000 isn't that much, but it's enough. Meaning that much in consideration of how many artificial intelligence needs to compare, but it's enough. I only have 1,200 in it and it's kind of working. Granted, I put a lot of these names. Every time I demo this, I add some of these names myself. I probably only have enough photos of the first 4 people to have it do the whole ad automatically. But one thing I'd venture to say, just as a question, many times people have photos of others, but not many of themselves in their own photos. Is that something that happens to you? Like you don't have
Um,
too many photos of yourself in your
no,
own photos?
not a huge number of myself,
Okay.
except the one taking the pictures.
That's what I mean. Someone else might have a lot of pictures of you, but you might not have so many pictures of yourself. So my thing would be first go and choose someone that you know you have many photos of. And like, do you have a person that you take many pictures of? Like Vera found this little guy. Um, then that might be a test of the feature. Another thing is to just name one of those people and then say add by yourself. You keep adding more photos of yourself, and then after a while it recognizes more of who could be. And then when you say add people, since you've added by hand, and let me just show you that again. Go ahead and share your screen again. I'm going to show you again how to add by hand a name so that you kind of force it to recognize that this is also this person. Okay, so the way, thank you for joining us. I noticed that,
Well, it says somebody else is sharing.
I'm still sharing. How silly of me. Let me stop my share. Okay, so hi, Tanya. Nice to see you. And someone else just joined us. Who else just joined us? Someone just joined us, but then maybe popped out. Anyway, thanks, Tanya. Okay, so here you go, people and pets. If you go to your library now, yeah, and now go to all photos. You're in years mode. Okay, so all photos, and it looks like you're at the very beginning. So drag this down to for some reason you're in like really old ones. So go ahead and go to some fresh ones. So go scroll down. Okay. So find a photo of yourself that you recognize yourself in. Okay. Now hit the space bar. Okay. Now you don't have the circle for names appearing. See down here where it says add faces?
Uh-huh.
Here in the thing, click on the plus to add a face. Okay, so now you can, that one won't work. You need to get rid of this one. So you must have clicked twice. So click on that X to get rid of it. Otherwise it'll think that something looking at that chip's a name. And now here, add your name and stop. When is this the name that you put in the other one? Okay, good. So now just before we keep adding, go back on your arrow over here and let's go back to people and see if it's been added to you. Now go to people and pets and double click on this one and see
Yes.
that one's been added. And since you had a few more photos of that moment, go ahead and say review more photos, see if it now might recognize a few more. I think the first one you used, you had glasses. So nope, there don't appear to be any more. Okay. Before when it said they don't appear anymore, it would always say that we need to review more. Go ahead and say done. Up there at the top. Go ahead and say done. So now you need to review more. So by the way, go back to your library and keep adding. Do that same process with maybe 10 more photos and look for photos where you look very different, right? So maybe in this one you look different or another one when you're side. Just try to find photos of different times and years of your life when you look different enough and keep naming yourself. Why do two appear all the time? Go ahead and take the little one off. You want it to be around your features that it needs to recognize. And then go ahead and put your name there again, and then choose yourself again. And then do that to at least 10 photos or something, because especially the last one surprised me because you did have other photos that looked just like that one.
Yeah.
First of all, go ahead and back out of this one. Go ahead and click on the arrow to back out of that one. hit your escape or hit your escape key. Yeah. So since you have more photos that are pretty similar to the one that you chose, I was a bit, or this one, you even have a second one right there. So I was surprised that it didn't have enough, but it might be that it just doesn't have enough photos. Let's go back to library, click on library and click on all photos, like one and after the other. And then you get to the end. Okay. So you have 5,000 photos. Yeah. I know that it needs a lot of photos for this to work. I also want you to go to view and see if it shows the names. Go ahead to view up here and say, oh, click on it, keep it clicked and say show face names, which before was turned off. So normally it would show it. Okay. So like click on this photo, hit the space bar so it turns big. I see a bunch of people there. The space bar. Okay, so now it's saying unnamed, 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 right? Now, so you can put in that one and don't keep writing, just always choose. Go ahead and name them all. I mean, are they people that you have many photos of? Are these friends or kind
Some of them I do.
Okay, so the ones that are, go ahead and name them. And if you see their connection. Now it's interesting because it says there's 4 people, but this is clearly a person, but for some reason this one isn't being picked up. Again, it's not perfect, right? So this would be an example. Yeah, go ahead and put this one. Okay. If this is a person that you recognize and should have a name, then you can go over here to the plus sign, right? Over here to the plus sign, click a little plus. It's going to appear in the middle because it doesn't know, and you need to grab it from the circle, from the line. No. From the line, yeah, and it's hard because it appeared on top of all the others. Yeah, maybe try over here. You have to kind of, this is the circle you're trying to grab. You keep grabbing a different one. This is the circle that you need to grab. Okay. And let me tell you where to grab it from. Don't keep moving. You need to grab it from either this piece of the circle or that piece of the circle. Nothing that's overlapping or it's grabbing something else. Okay. So there. Yeah. Click from there. Yeah. It's not doing that. Okay. It's not able to do that. Okay. Go ahead and click on the X to turn it off. Yeah. Oh, hit the space bar. I don't know why it went down. So yeah, I don't usually what these names are going to appear in the center, and the center of the page happens to be right there. So it's appearing overlapping Kelly. So it's hard to put another one in. Try again, put the plus sign. Let's see if you can give it a better try. And now try before you click on the other ones that see if you can get just there where there's nothing else. Try to click right there to drag it over. Yeah, there you go. Put over that face, make it smaller with this little round circle there so that it just grabs the features, that it just grabs the face and nose, and yeah, make it smaller and then move it back over the face again. Yeah, and then give it a name. And it looks like maybe you don't have them in your contact book, so you're just naming them out of the blue. Okay. And there you go. And if this is someone that you don't know, you'll never see, you don't care naming, then just don't name them and leave it as unnamed. And if it's someone that you do know, then you name them. Okay. Cool. So now if you go back, let's back out of here and go to people, you'll see that you have all these different people set up. And depending on how many photos you have of them, so now you have names here. If you scroll down, you'll see some of the new ones that you just named because they'll be at the bottom because you just created them and here they are. Alexa and Kelly, Alani, you just created these yourself and that's why they appear at the bottom. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Now you can, if you have many photos of them, you could double click and search for more of them. But if you don't, this is like a one-off, then it might not work, but give it a try at double clicking and see if it can find some. And let's see if that works. I'll review more photos. No. Right. So keep trying until you find something that has enough photos. And if not, it might just need to, now that you're beginning to name people, right? You just need to let it sit and have it, like it says there, have it operate when when it's not functioning, right? So back out of there. And so this is new. It didn't recognize pets before. Now it recognizes pets. Are these all different cats? Is it doing a good job?
This is the same cat.
The same one. And you can see how one's gray, one's brown, so it could look different. So you can put this one on top of that one and then name it. Yeah, merge two photos. That's the same one. And then you can give it a name. You can double click and name this pet and give it a name, et cetera, and hope that it found many more. Right? Cool. Now you can double click and see if it found more of the same one and whether it's the right one. I want to make sure that if it isn't the right one, with pets, it's harder, that you can learn how to say, nope, not this person. So now start scrolling down and tell me whether it's pretty much always the right person, the right cat.
Yeah, it's all the right cat.
The right cat. I'm always amazed by that. Keep going in case you find one that's not. And then if you do find one that's not, then you would say right click. Just try. Don't finish it. Don't complete it because I don't want it to get confused, but do a right click to tell it that this is not that. Like go ahead and right click and see how at the very bottom, this is not Pele. So Carol, you see that? You can select a photo and tell it, nope, this is not that. See that? Now I don't want her to do it because then it'll confuse it, but you can do that. Did you see that? Was it Carol had asked me, right? Yeah. So when you get to look at all the photos that were chosen, if someone is not that person, you say, no, not that person. And maybe 10 photos disappear because it found 10 more of those, right? But there you go. So yeah, I think you just need to train it more and then keep trying until it has enough photos to work. But there you go.
Great.
So when I say train it, it's that you have to go to the individual photos and put find 10 more of Alexa. Was it Alexa, I think? And then
Yeah.
name Alexa, and then maybe that's enough material for it to go, oh, well, is this Alexa? Is this Alexa? Which is kind of what you saw in my demo, right? That it
Yeah.
kept, oh, well, and is this one, and is this one, and is this one? But it needs more to be able to do that. Okay. Cool. All right. So, one more thing about the people, and then after that, I need you guys to work on it between here and next week, so that by next week, I want to see that you guys have more people named. But see that there's a little heart and a heart and a heart on these 5 or 6 at the top. That would be me making them favorites, so to say. And then they pop to the top. So say that I want this person to be at the top. If I click the little heart, then that person popped to the top. You see that? So that's really all that this is. It's having it pop to the top. And then if you're like, no, no, if I take it off, then they kind of went back. So people that you know that you have a lot of and you really want to see, like, oh, these are my family members or my pet, you give a little heart, then they jump to the top. But what if it's not people that you want to jump to the top, but you want to reorganize them? Can you? Yeah, I can put Christina here and put it up on top, or I can move her up there. Maybe it's my family at the top, and then it's my friends, and then it's people I kind of know. Maybe it's people from work. So you can organize these in whichever order you want. Like these are kids, these are my friends. I'm going to put this one here up with my friends. And then this is a friend of my son's. It'll go down here to a friend of my son's friend. I'm going to put that one there. It's my son's friend, right? So you can do this organization as best as you want. But the only ones that pop up to the top automatically are the ones that you click as a little heart, and then it goes and it puts those people there. And usually it'll be the people that you have more photos of or something like that. Okay. And click on sort by name, but I don't really want to sort them by name. I sort them by the order I gave them. But if not, if it's easier for you guys to sort by name, then that's another way. Then you know that your A for Aaron will be on the top, and A for Alicia will be on the top, and so on and so forth. And that might be, if you have a lot of names, a lot of people, that might be easier to find than to sort them in custom. Because if you sort them in custom order, say that I say sort by name, then the top still respects the favorites, and then it starts A, B, C, D. Does that make sense? So you can still say, well, Zanmita, which is a Z, is still a favorite. Boom. If I give it a heart, she'll still show up at the top. It's the rest that are sorted by names. Does that make sense? And if she wasn't, then I'll let it go. And then it's easier. Like my top people are on the top, and then everyone else, alphabetical order, it's easier to find them. Okay? Now, over here, it's saying photos organizes people and pets into groups when enough photos are found. I don't know that I have enough photos in here with 1200 for it to do one automatically like it did for Vera. But let me see, it says create. So what if I look for photos where both my kids are together? Clicking these two, and I'm going to say add Joaquin and Santi. It knew that these were Joaquin and Santi. And look at the photos that I have of each one of them now, that, and yet it found that one of them because these photos include that and these photos include that. So and now, and I just did it in front of you guys. I didn't know if it would find it. I'm going to double click on this guy. And yeah, it looks like it found them together 4 times. No matter their ages, it found them together 4 times. If I go to my groups and my real photos, I have a ton of photos of them. But in this sampling of photos, it looks like I have them together 4 times. So I created that group myself, okay? So you say create, and then you choose photos of the people that see my mom and me. I'm gonna see, and say add. And then when I double click, looks like this is the only one it found. Okay, I don't know that I have any more of my mom and me in here, but if I do, then I could add them myself, but I don't know in this group of photos if I have more of us too, but there you go. At least it found one. Okay. So my request is for you guys to, for homework, not only I want you guys to deal with memories and trips and featured photos and all that, but I also want you to go into pets, peoples and pets, and either follow through with selecting, and usually it has the ones photos that you have the most top left, and you start with that, you start naming them, you start seeing, and you might find 200 photos or 2000 photos of one person. Go to the bottom, rename them in some other photo where they haven't been grouped. I could do the beginning, and if you don't remember, go at the beginning of the break. I gave the example of I had just added 7 photos or more of Jack, or 12, it said. I just put more photos in there. So then I opened up Jack and I went to the bottom and I said review more photos, and it found 12 more because I just loaded more photos. Does that make sense? I was able to find 12 more. All
May
right.
I just ask you, and maybe I missed this, but I was able to name all the people whose photos come up.
Okay.
And then I went to add more and did add a couple more.
It did. Okay.
But there's a couple people that don't show up.
So then if they don't show up, you need to do the process that I just did with Mary. You need to go find a photo of that person and just name them, Mary Ellen, sorry. And then you
But
just
I
name,
just go into search and search for a photo of them.
well, not really, because under search, if I say John and I look for John, well, I don't have
Yeah,
any people named John, so the computer won't know who they are. There's a limit to its intelligence, right?
right. So I went back to
Basically,
my library and
back
found
to
it,
an
but
event where you know you had John with you, you select that one, you hit the space bar, and then you use this, you put a little plus sign and
there it
over
is.
their face, kind of we just did with Mary Ellen, and you say this is John, and that creates that person. When you go back
Okay.
to people, you will have a John here at the bottom, and then you need to label 5 or 6 or 10 more. Sometimes 2 is enough, especially if the photos are similar. And then you say find more, and it'll go in and see if it can find more. Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Now, how about this on the phone? Well, on the phone, here we are, people and pets. First of all, I just created this one in my phone, Mom and Dan, and there it is already. Okay, it already went there. But now when I look at all my people and pets, there they are, but there's no way to add to people and pets, right? If I click on people and pets, like in the little mode. So at here, all these names have an arrow. An arrow always means more. So after I'm done with people and pets, it's showing me the first like 10 or 15. I can click on this little arrow at the end of people and pets, and Now it's showing me all my people. Okay. And at the very, very bottom, I can add people that way. And at the top, I can say edit and I can get rid of some, or I can select some people. I'm going to cancel, and mainly I'm going to see if I can add people from my phone. So I clicked on add people, and it's recognizing these two people. And these two people are wrong. Like this is it's a sample that I made once and then I deleted, but they're wrong. This is not that person. So if I say add, then it's always going to try to find with this name, it's going to try to find this person with that name, but it's wrong. So if I say add, which I will right now, and it added this person, then I'm going to edit name and photos, and I'm going to say this is not Mark Shatillo. This is, and I actually don't know who this person is. This is someone, this is a photo that Yolanda sent me once of her family member. So I'm going to write Yolanda's family. But it doesn't really help because this should be a first and last name. But anyway, I'm just showing you that because I don't want my computer to think that this was Mark Shatillo. Now I'm saying done. And I'm going to say review any photos identified as that. I only have one photo as person, so I'm not going to bother, but review it, and I'm going to say done. So now that is a Yana sign number. Now don't do this. Don't put like things like that unless you, for some reason, have a photo where you really do want to name this person someone and you don't know what it is. So say old wedding photos. You recognize your grandmother, your grandmother's sister, and then there's two other people there. You have no idea who they are. So you might want to write down in those photos, the old photos, you might want to write down, I think that's grandma or something like that, or I think it's my grandmother's best friend or whatever. So you can label it and then you can do your research. And when you find out through your research, asking people who it is, then you go in and you label them what they really are. So people who are doing genealogy, that's really useful, But like if I didn't know who this was and I need to start researching, when I finally ask the right people, I know who it is, then I go in and I change their name to the real name. Okay. Yes. And then if I go to search and I go looking for Yolanda, nope, it didn't find, oh, because I did it over here and it hasn't come here yet. So it hasn't yet moved to my new computer, meaning I just did it on the phone and it didn't yet come in here. But when Yolanda shows up in here as people, Yolanda's family, it says, then when I go into my search and for Yolanda, that photo will pop up and I'll go, oh, I found out this guy's name is actually Mark Smith, and I can change it, right? But my memory of who this person was because it related to Yolanda. Does that make sense? Like you can grab some people and go, I really want to name. Now, I don't see the point too much, unless you're doing genealogy, of naming people that you are never going to see again. I have so many little groups in my personal photos, not so much here, but photos where suddenly there's a big group and you have no idea who they are. I'm trying to imagine over here. There's people in the background, but I don't know who they are and I don't care who they are, right? But this is an example. If all the photos of 2020, and maybe if people wore them, even this is 2021, this is this is his junior high graduation. We all had to wear masks for that graduation. So no one will ever know that Joaquin and Santi were there. So it's up to me to click in here and call this person Santi. Yep, that one. And then this one doesn't even have doesn't even recognize it as a person. So I'm going to give it a little plus sign. I'm going to move it from the circle. This one is not easy when, to move them from there. This is what was happening to, come on. Okay. Ever since I made this mouse bigger to teach it in the other class, it doesn't move easily. I hate it. Okay. Turn it off, start again. Can't even grab it enough to make it bigger or smaller. There. Okay, so now I'm going to grab it and move it over. And I'm going to make it bigger. The thing I'm afraid of, I want to add this photo because it's his graduation, so I want to add it to his group. But I'm also afraid that my computer is going to begin to look for things that look like this and call them Joaquin. You know what I mean? But anyway, I'm going to say that this is Joaquin. There we go. So now these two have been added. So when I go look at the photos of these two, there's going to be more photos where they are together because I've just labeled them Joaquin and Santi. So if I go to my people and pets, Joaquin and Santi. Nope, not there yet. I just labeled it. I want to put in Joaquin and Santi because I just put two of them in one photo. But anyway, it might take a while for it to figure it out. Okay. Looking at questions. I think I've answered all of the questions. Let me see if there's any other question. Nope, looks like I don't have any other questions. Okay. So what we've gone through today is all the stuff that the computer uses automatically. Some with more and less artificial intelligence. The place we really found artificial intelligence for real was here under memories. The rest are more like machine learning, where it's using metadata and stuff like that to figure things out, or measuring between the nose and the face and the mouth to figure things out. So that's before it was truly artificial intelligence. Now artificial intelligence uses more like conjecture and makes assumptions of stuff. So it's a bit different. You'll see when we go into the search how the artificial intelligence is progressed.
Diana,
Yeah.
Thomas Reynolds has been raising his hand.
Oh, thank you. By the way, she's right. I was looking at the chat, but I wasn't looking at the people. When I share my screen, sometimes I don't see it. And I've trained people, well trained. Let me know if I'm not responding to someone. So yes, Thomas.
Uh, I'm trying to do what you just taught me to do, and found a photo of my buddy and click on the information button, right?
Share your screen in case
Yeah.
I have something I need to see.
Well,
Yep.
when I click on the I in the circle, the information button, all I get is the info bar, and I can't expand it or extend.
No, it's not the information button, it's the name button. So go ahead and share your screen. Let me show you. Share your screen. And share your entire window, not just the photos, because you might need to set up some settings at the top. Last class, we turned off all the metadata, and I'm not sure. I know that you had to leave a bit earlier. I don't know if you got all the metadata turned on. So, first of all, yes, let's see. First, I'm going to just deal with it as if you do have them turned on. Go ahead and turn on the info window.
See, that's all I get.
Oh, that's bizarre. Okay,
Yeah, and there's no other buttons.
back out of this one. Yeah, back out. Nope, it's not backing out.
I got, 75,000 photos, so everything takes
Yeah.
forever.
It does. Okay, yeah, that's possible. It could be that that's what's stopping it. Can you show me what are your stats on the computer? Is it very full? It shouldn't be taking this long.
No, you mean here?
Yeah, go in there and tell me about this Mac. More than that, by the way, it's 4:55, which is the end of the class. So if you're done and you want to keep staying around to listen to the answers, please stay. But if you need to go, I'm just gonna help Thomas. But other than that, I won't teach anything new. So go practice, find your photos, create more memories and stuff like that, and then be ready for next week. Create people and groups and stuff like that. Okay. Yeah, go to system settings for a second. Open your system settings so that I can. All right, so where you scroll down,
Where is it?
general, there it is. Click on general. Yeah. And then it's a chip, 116 gigabytes. Okay, so I need to see your storage. So go back to general. Click on general there, yeah. And maybe you need to back out from here, from about. I want to get to your storage. Wow, it's really slow. Start it again, open system settings again. There, go to storage. So only half has been used. So,
Because my photos are on an external drive.
oh, your photos were stored in an external drive?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's happening is, okay, got it. Thanks for asking this, and anyone who's listening to me. If you have photos stored in an external drive, okay, here it is, photo archive. I recommend, especially if it's photos, that if you've owned this drive for quite a while, you might want to consider, and I don't know, maybe it's pretty new, to consider buying. So I'm always like, yeah, any drive is fine, any drive is fine. But if you're gonna have your photos out of it, you might want to make sure that you have a really good quality fast drive. And I'm just saying that because go ahead and double click this one here to see how much we're doing with space, like the archive, the photo archive. Can you double click on that so we can learn a little bit about?
I'm sorry, here?
No, over here, you probably have Zoom in the way. Your icon of your, or open a Finder window. I don't know, open a Finder window where it's just easier to find out stuff. Yeah, open a Finder window. And let's go down to this drive. Yeah, select it, right click on the photo archive, right click. Okay, it says that you still have 1.4 terabytes available and it's taken a long time.
Yeah,
Is anything else taking a long time in your computer or just this one?
no, just photos.
Just your photos takes a long time. I have a feeling, I don't know, but because I don't know about this one drive in particular, but I have a feeling that it's related to either the cable, the connections, like maybe if you have a USB, you need to move to a drive that has a USB 3, like the style and the connections that you have is really what is taking time. It's not your computer that's slow, it's an M1. It should still.
It's not the size of the file, it's the connection.
Yeah, because the size of the file affects it in a way. Go ahead and click on the photos library to see how big it is. Let's see, you need to make this a bit bigger so that I can read. There it is. So the file is 400 gigabytes. So yeah, it's very sizable. I got to a point where on an older computer, my big file was having a hard time opening. So I ended up dividing it into years, like made 3 out of it. But if your computer, if this was in your computer, it would work, except for your computer doesn't have space for it, right? So it wouldn't work fast.
Right.
But since you have it all together in an external drive, then you need to make sure that this drive has a really fast connection to your computer. And depending on the connection, if it's a USB or a USB 3 or a lightning bolt, it would be even better if it could be a Thunderbolt drive, then that really matters. Like how your drive is connecting to your computer really does matter. You know what I mean?
Well, I thought I had to have an external drive because iPhotos didn't offer enough space to hold all my photos.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
now I see that it does. And for $29.99 a month, I could use iCloud for all my photo storage.
Yeah, you can use
Is that a
iCloud.
better option?
Yeah, but for 413 gigabytes, you're going to be paying probably the what was the money? Is it the 399 gives you 200 gigabyte? I don't remember off the top of my head. Let me check really quickly.
I thought the last time I looked, it was now possible for $29.99, but maybe.
Yeah, let me see the cloud. iCloud manage plan 400. So what are the gigabytes? See all plans. I'm just looking. Here, let me, since we can't do much about this, I'm stopping your share and let me share mine. I'm looking at all the plans. 200 gigabytes. Okay, so for $9.99, you can have 2 terabytes. $9.99 a month. Okay. So
And that's all I would need?
yeah, because you have 400 gigabytes.
I see. So it'd still only be 25%.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Now you have other stuff on your computer. I don't know, but I don't think, and usually it's the photos that take up a lot of space. So that should be
Exactly, yeah.
99 should be enough. If that doesn't become enough, then you move up to 29, but you should start with 9.99 and that should do the job. And then it would be now what you
And
need.
it's okay to have it all on the iCloud and not to have any
Yeah.
physical storage?
Yeah. It'll show preview. You'll look as if they're on your computer. right? They'll look as if they're on your computer, but really since your computer doesn't have enough space, they'll stay in the cloud and you'll just see the previews and it'll look the same, but you'll be able to work with them without all the hesitation that you're having right now.
And I'm not worried about losing it or something going on. I don't have it in my hands. I'm not as confident.
Yeah, go ahead and don't take them off of this archive. Like you have them already in this hard drive, leave them there, right? Put them on the cloud. They're not going to get taken away from the archive. So leave them there, make sure it all works. And if it's all working, then you're fine. If for any reason something isn't working, then you go back to this method. But then you might want to buy yourself a hard drive that's really fast, and then its specs do matter. Price on the drive does matter, and mainly the type of connection it has, because the cables that we had before, the cables that have the old USB, the square one, it's really slow in comparison to like the USB 3 or the Thunderbolt. So you might want to look into
And
that.
I'm just using an adapter from that to the USB-C.
Yeah,
So there's another possible weak link too.
yeah. So like Harry is writing down, he wrote my second hard drive or my two hard drive crashed twice at the same time. Oh, both of your cryo drives crashed at the same time and you lost almost 30 years of photos. Could not fully retreat back. So very best, I recommend replacing them every 3 years. A bad, painful experience. Yeah, hard drives die, you guys. And if all your photos are in that thing that you're holding and you don't have them anywhere else, that thing can crash tomorrow and then you lose all your photos. So in fact, the cloud doesn't crash, but the hard drives do crash. So if you do have all your photos in that hard drive, you still should have a backup to it. Now here he's saying both crashed at the same time. It's possible if you have one of those power surges that go through your whole house that suddenly put on a good powerful power surge on your computer to protect your hard drives. When all you have is in a physical hard drive, physical things die. So I would highly recommend that on top of having a hard drive, you would also have it on the cloud and then keep this one as your backup because yeah,
But you're saying that the iCloud never dies.
well, it never has. And I say it will never die. I don't know. But the thing is,
Yeah.
that's why I have the cloud, but I also do a time machine. So I have a physical and a
Yeah.
cloud. So if one dies, the other one doesn't die. Harry said both of his died. I can only imagine that happens at the same time. If it was some kind of a power surge, I can't imagine any other reason why both
Well,
would.
I have that fear because both drives are my time machine and my photos are exactly the same drive, exactly the same age, and I didn't get them recently.
Oh my God, you have them on the same drive?
No, two drives that are
Right.
the
No, because some
same.
people put their backups and then they split, they partition it, and they put their stuff.
No, it's
But
not that bad.
they're both the same age, the same time. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's time to upgrade. Sorry to say that. Because,
And iCloud would be the way to do it.
well, iCloud would be the day to do it, but if I were you, how old are these hard drives?
Maybe 2 or 3 years.
Right? I'm not saying that that's too old or too young. I don't know because you know how sometimes you own a car for 20 years and it keeps going and other times in 5 years it becomes a lemon. Hard drives are like that. They're equipment, right? So all I know is that I have had many hard drives die. I have always had duplicates and clones, so I have not lost things, but they die. So if all your photos are there and your time machine is there and they're both just as old, I wouldn't hesitate at buying a new one. Now you can buy for the same money a much bigger drive, but also more importantly than bigger, it's a much faster drive, right? And with new connections, the Thunderbolt connection is much faster, and USB-C A is much USB-C is much faster than USB-C. USB-C is much faster than the regular USB that used to be called USB-A. So I don't know how your drives connect, but at this point, it's time to buy a new, faster drive if you want to keep operating off of your drive.
So get everything on iCloud first, and then when it's working, upgrade the
Upgrade
physical equipment.
Yes,
Okay.
I do.
And in
Yes.
the meantime, we don't know why I can't get the rest of the info on the
I have a
photos.
feeling it's so slow. It can't even open up
That's it.
how many photos that it's just working hard. That's the only reason I can think of that it's working hard and it just can't even pick up the info of that photo. So it's just
Right.
they're trying to work. Yeah. So that would be my my suggestion. I've never seen it only show that line, but then you're trying to click on something else and it isn't clicking. So I'm thinking it's that.
Yeah, and neither have I. This is the first time. It's always been there.
And it could be that because you're online right now, and when you're online,
Right.
all that kind of stuff. So try it again when you're not on Zoom and see if it's still not happening, and then restart it and see if then it is. If by all of those things it's not working, then still I would move forward with the other stuff that we're saying.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. Okay, guys. Nice talking to you. Work on your photos, work on your stuff, and we'll keep going. Some of you guys I'll see during the week and some other classes, and the rest of you guys I will see next week. Bye.